Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Caliber Corner Season 6, episode number 296, Part 3, Essentials for Enjoying the Outdoors, Knives and Pocket Tools. I've been busy for the last couple weeks. I apologize. I've been busy with friends and family and ex-girlfriends and things like that, but we're back for you guys now, and we're going to have a little discussion about some more of the gear that we take when we go out hiking. We've had this multi-part series now where we've talked about the boots and the bags and some of the clothing that we wear when we're out in the woods. And since all of us are from very different parts of the country, Alaskan ballistics included today, we're going to share with you what do we take into consideration when we are packing our favorite blades for hikes. Okay, so that's pretty much where we're going to go. I've got 5 different knives and pocket tools I want to show off today. Maybe we'll get Gizzard Gary to show up here today because he's kind of the knife master these days. But otherwise, you guys out there in the chat, if you're watching, chime in and let us know what are some of your favorite blades that you like to take with you. What do you take into consideration when you plan for your pocket knives and backup knives and so on? So let's get this party started. Off to my right, we'll let the panel introduce themselves. Squid, how's your morning going? Is it going good?
It's going pretty good. I've got myself a cup of Arbuckle's Mexicali, and
you're ready to go. Well, you will be.
I'm ready.
Is that just your first mug?
No, this is the second one.
Second, I figured you probably did half a pot by this point. So yeah.
No, I got up and started working on some stuff, and I said I need to get this out of the way before we go live. So yeah, got a busy day lined up today. So.
Well, that's not exactly a normal size coffee mug. That's like a half pot mug, isn't it? Is that like a good 20 ounce or what? Yeah. Look at that thing. That looks like something from Willy Wonka. Is there lips on that thing? Oh, okay. Oh, the M&M mug. Dude, those are awesome, man. Heck yeah.
So back when there were only 3 M&M stores in the country, we hit all 3 in the same year. So I've got a lot of mugs. Awesome. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So I got some things planned for the morning, and I thought it would just be easier if I get a bigger mug, so I'm not running downstairs as often.
Yeah, just take just do what I do in some of those photos where I actually sit there with the entire coffee carafe and I'm just drinking out of it. You know, I should do that. I'll probably do that for next week's episode. I'll sit there, morning, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I mean, I could put a coffee pot over here on the desk, get rid of some of this paperwork, and you know, because I do keep a bottle of rye back there and a couple glasses. But
you never know if it's going to be a long podcast or a long day. So yeah. Hey, so Squib, give us kind of a little teaser here. What's coming up on the Squibload channel? What's in the pipeline? What's in the works? What's gonna give us? What do you got coming? You got a boot video, sock video, knife video, random gun parts video. What do you got? Any idea?
I've got a coffee review tomorrow morning, I think. I don't know. Let me go into the studio here.
Yeah. With Squibload, it literally is the box of chocolates, his channel. So
yeah, here's the thing. I've got lots of footage that I've got to edit. And I could probably just spend time on that and then just make videos off of that. But really, I'm bouncing. I've got 5 channels, and I put time into 3 of them, really. The other 2 here and there. But what I noticed is I'll put a lot of work into one channel, and then the other 2 will fall behind, and then I'll pick another one. I'll put a lot of, and then the other 2. And
yeah, I'm running 3. We'll co-run one of them, and I got 2 of my own. And that second one, I just don't quite put as much out there for it as I wish I did. So yeah.
So let's see. Today's the 30th. So Monday, I've got a short video. It's not a short, but it's under 4 minutes from Lincoln, New Mexico.
Oh,
and okay. I think tomorrow I've got is that the Puerto Rican light French roast? Yeah,
I got that. No, how is it on the light end of the dark roast? Anyway, we'll get into a coffee discussion later because you and I go down a rabbit hole discussion on that one.
Yeah, so I've got that, and then that's really all I can think of from this channel. So I've got lots of stuff to edit. I mean, like I've got some videos where I'm filming for hours, right? And I've got to condense it down. And even then it might end up being an hour long. Who wants to sit through an hour long video, right?
I do.
So, I mean, I could break it up.
I cut my teeth on Nut and Fancy videos, just like the rest of us, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, if somebody's going to, or wants to go to some place, but maybe it's, they need something that's handicap accessible, and where I'm at, it's not, and they want to see what it looks like, they could watch my video, right? Or if they're like, look, I don't travel, but I've always wanted to see this, they could see that sort of video. I've got videos like that in the works, but who knows when they're going to come out.
Yeah.
It's just, you know how long editing takes.
You'll put a video, hey guys, welcome back to the countertop. It's June of 2019. We're in the middle of COVID. No, you're not even mentioning COVID. It's like, it's June of 2020. And, or you'll have an intro, you say, okay, I wanted to show this video 3 years ago and I finally got it done. So, yep.
Yeah, I've done that because I've got these folders and they're all labeled.
Yep.
And so every now and then I'll go, "Ooh, what's this?" And I'll open up and go, "Oh,
Oh crap! I
I
forgot
never
I made
did
it. Like
anything with
he's not
that."
even alive anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've actually deleted a few videos because of situations like that. So yeah,
Yeah. Oh shoot! I
yeah.
was gonna get Alaskan up next. So all
That's
right.
okay.
All right. So also chiming in is Foos. Foos is loose. Foos, where are you going today? What's going on? Are you
I'm
going to the
in
range?
East. Oh no, I wish. I'm in Eastern Illinois, headed towards Kansas City.
Oh, there you go. You got to get out of enemy territory there, bud.
Yeah, well, I just hit enemy territory.
Okay. So what's going on, man? You got a competition or what? You shooting?
Work.
Oh, work.
Work.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I had to drive out on Wednesday, and I'm coming back today.
Isn't that one song everybody's working on the weekends? Isn't that how that 80s song goes? Is there? Yep.
Well, if everything was according to plan, I would have made this drive yesterday. But
Gotcha. No problem, man. Well, we're glad you're here with us, Foos, and it should be a good little lively discussion. So if you got any favorite blades you want to chime in about when we get there, you can make it happen. So yeah.
I didn't even know the topic.
No, so we're talking about our favorite knives for outdoors, hiking. What kind of a knife would you take, or blade preference, etc. What would you do? So that's what we're gonna get into today.
Box cutter.
Box cutter is pretty hard to beat, man. I rocked one pretty much all through high school and college with my job working in a grocery store. So I think I even kept one in my car because I put it in my pocket when I go to work. Yeah. Like sometimes it was probably in my pocket up at school, unfortunately, but back in the day when I was in high school.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, "Where's mine?" I was looking for it. I have one of these LAPG gear.
Yeah, LA police gear.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea where I got it, but it has a seatbelt cutter and a glass breaker. And I'm sure as soon as I put any sideways pressure on this blade, it'll break.
No, LA Police Gear, I thought their stuff was pretty solid because they got a legit website and they sell a lot of tactical gear and stuff for law enforcement. It's a big company, so it could just be a rebranded Chinesium. You never know what it is. So
yeah, you never know. I mean, it's
yeah.
I mean,
it looks well worn. Yeah.
Now, and it does have a serrated blade, so of course that makes it look awesome.
Oh yeah, you get the tactical factor in there. Yep.
Yeah, like whenever I see these, I just want to take and grind it down past that because I hate the serrated blade.
It's like, are you gonna be cutting branches? Is that the idea or what?
Yeah, with an inch and a half of serrations.
Gotcha.
Like it stopped right here.
We're gonna kind of advance this a little bit because Alaskan Ballistics has to check out here very soon. So we're gonna go ahead and just let him get his piece in, and then Ballistics, if you want to, you can just go ahead and mention quick what some of the knives are that you would happen to carry for your hardcore outdoor expedition. So Alaskan, go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us about your channel, and then let us know what's your blade preference, and then we'll continue with single shot and Rich after. So yeah.
Well, thanks, Travis. I appreciate that.
Problem, buddy. Yep.
Yeah. So my channel is Alaskan Ballistics. I shoot everything I can over a chronograph and then shoot it into pork shoulders instead of ballistics gel because nobody is actually, except for my fat roll, nobody is exactly a ballistics gelatin block. So yeah. So anyway, that's what I do, and I hunt and fish a lot. And every time I'm hiking, I'm hunting something. Okay. Or something's hunting me. There's that possibility too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in Alaska, as like any place, when you're out in the outdoors, you're on the bottom of the food chain. So yeah. Basically.
Yeah, but we have things that can eat you whole here. It doesn't take a whole pack of coyotes like it does down there.
Oh yeah, no, that's our biggest threat, basically. So yep.
Yeah. Yeah, they could just slap you once and then you're dinner. But anyway, and I've had them walk through my yard. But for knives, skinning knives and hunting knives, I'd use the Outdoor Edge, just whatever size you like, and change those blades because, as I discovered this year, when you're, skinning a whole 1,200-pound moose, your knife's going to get dull. Like there's nobody out there, like if you're just skinning on an animal that size all day, there's no knife out there that's within reasonable price range that's going to stay sharp the entire time. Right.
Yeah, let me show. I'm showing it off. And again, we have no links. I'm not affiliated. I have no affiliate links at all. But this is what the Outdoor Edge brand is, and you've got the replaceable blades, basically scalpel blades, more or less. Razor blades. Yeah.
They're very, very sharp. But one of the things I wanted to mention is like I'm clumsy with knives, and
Okay.
I always take first aid with me because I am gonna cut myself, not on purpose, but like I am gonna cut myself, and as that blade dullens, you're gonna have a much greater chance of cutting yourself, and at that point, it's like you need to have that because especially if you're gutting an animal, then you have blood-to-blood contact, and that's where disease transfers come in. It's hard for diseases to jump from like animals breathing or animal saliva to humans.
Well,
it's very hard
not when the government's
to do
behind
that.
it, but yeah, I understand.
Well, there's that. Yeah, unless you're a lab and
yeah.
But like, it's very, very hard, for that to happen. But when you have blood-to-blood transfers, it's a lot easier.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that if you're scanning, even if it's a squirrel, like squirrels carry rabies sometimes, you want to make sure that you're, taking care of yourself.
Hand sanitizer before and after, or maybe just carry a pack of nitrile gloves in your bag. See how. And also, that might not be a bad idea if you're ever hiking or outdoors and you encounter another person that's got an injury. Because I carry a full on like trauma pack in my backpack for to stuff a gunshot wound, tourniquet. If I come upon somebody who's got something really bad, and I have no gloves on me, I'm gonna be in contact. And I got to be honest, my little travel pack, I don't have hand sanitizer, and I really should, because you never know if you're gonna use public facilities, if you might have to use a restroom or you have to use like a whatever drinking fountain or something, you're going to come in contact with everybody else. And so it might not be a bad idea. And I know we're getting into the knife discussion, but that's something to consider that we haven't even talked about as one of the topics. Yeah. We're part 3 already, and I don't think we ever once mentioned a pair of rubber gloves or nitrile gloves, So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So now Outdoor Edge, definitely a good brand. Yeah.
Yeah. And I always carry a hatchet as well, a good hatchet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it's not a knife, but it is a cutting tool. So I'm hoping that's on topic. But
I think it'd be relevant because if you're depending on what kind of terrain you're going into, that's a huge part of the discussion. Is you pack for your terrain, whatever you're going to encounter. If you want to be able to hack something down or cut something down,
and you got to be able to stay warm in Alaska.
So and how else are you going to get through moose bones without a hatchet?
Oh, that's easy. Like moose bones, I went and bought a chainsaw.
Oh,
literally, I got to edit it. I got footage of me because I had a Outdoor Edge bone saw, and it works great on caribou. But I was going to be there all freaking day, sawing the antlers off or the ribs off on that. I went to the store at the nearest little town, overpaid for a little Craftsman chainsaw, and
dude, those things will run forever. I still have one. It's almost 8 years old now. I use the heck out of it. Old Craftsman, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My first time ever using a chainsaw was cutting the ribs and the antlers out of my moose this year. So
there we go.
Like that's something to consider if you're going after really big animals. Like a battery operated sawzall would have been better or something like that, But you do need a bigger cutting tool for bigger animals, and or if you're doing a longer expedition for like woods, maybe you're like here in Alaska, it's not uncommon to use a 4-wheeler to go 25 miles, 30 miles off where you parked your vehicle, sometimes even 50 or 60.
Mm-hmm.
It's not uncommon. So at that point, you need a cutting tool that you can, because you're not going to bring firewood that far. Some places you have to because it's all tundra, but
okay.
You're not going to bring firewood that far. You're going to have to cut most of your firewood, and people don't realize that. In fact, there's a lot of places where the trails start out in the low valleys and they end up in these high tundra plains, and you'll have to stop and cut your firewood in the low valleys. Like there's no place to, once you get up on those high tundra plains, there are no trees, and it's very, very, very dangerous. But the other blade I want to talk about is I always very often carry a machete because the woods in the summer and the late fall here are so thick because everything grows at once.
Yeah.
And so there are places I walk in the winter that I can't physically go into in the summer.
Okay.
In the winter I can snowshoe in those places and I'm fine. I'm like, wow, this is a nice open area. Go back in the summer, it's covered in brush, right?
Do you have a preference for a machete brand? Do you like Gerber? Do you do Harbor Freight? Do you do like a certain brand that just makes a really good machete? It doesn't really matter. Do you just buy something surplus? Like Squid there, you just go to the Army Navy store and you get the Predator edition from 1987, Jeez.
Yeah, I buy the SOG.
Yeah.
I buy the SOG brand, the one with the saw on the back of it, and I found that it works really well. And there's a mini version of it, and it does a great job. You do have to sharpen the crap out of it though, because and people like, oh, you don't need to sharpen a machete. Yeah, you do. Dull machetes don't cut very well.
Oh no, I can imagine. Yeah. Easy.
So, but I always carry a machete for as a survival, and I've gotten to where even on my heavy hike-in hunts where I'm hiking 6, 7, 8 miles, total or even all together, or even one way, I'll carry both the hatchet and the machete because of the different type of hacking you're going to do for both.
Oh yeah. Just to answer,
there's a lot of weight to carry, but
no problem, man. Just real quick to answer GSB9's question before it gets lost in the comments. It says, if you don't use a multi-blade knife, how do you guys keep your knife sharp in the field? What kind of sharpener? I have a little just pocket sharpener that has a little fiberglass V on it. You can take the nicks out of, and it's got another V that has the hardened like abrasive material that you whiz the blade through a couple times. And then you can turn it over. It also has a file, and then it also has like a little cone that's real abrasive. And the cone is actually used on serrated edges. You get it in those crevices of a serrated edge, like the kind that are kind of like the serrated on one side. You can whiz down that. I should have just grabbed it. It's just over in my drawer over there. But and that's how I keep them. And that thing weighs like 1 or 2 ounces. Just a pocket sharpener will do the job. You don't have to carry a full kit with you unless you're going to have a large blade that really needs it. So, Laskin, what do you think?
Yeah, I do the same exact thing. Well, brother, I got to go. I forgot my toothbrush. I got to go in the store and buy a toothbrush before I go meet everybody.
That's fine, man. Hey, have fun chasing those bears, okay? Be safe. And guys, get over there and subscribe to Alaskan Ballistics channel. Make sure you click on the bell, because I am, and I hate to say it, but I don't get notifications on your videos. And you're putting out a video every 2 to 3 days. I'm not getting them in my feed. And I don't know why. I watch them when they show up. I'll play them. You, like Codaboy32. There's a bunch of other channels I sub to, and I don't ever get. So I do click through, because all I watch is YouTube on my TV. So I'll click through your channels and see what's new for content for everybody, and I'll watch it for entertainment. And a lot of them, like, nothing pushes through to my phone. So I'm like, hey, has Alaska made a video? And you've made 5 in the last 5 days. It's like, what the heck? So get over there. Make sure you guys mash the bell. Make sure you do leave comments on the video. Check your feeds just to kind of support the channels, because I don't think we get pushed across like we should. That's just me, tinfoil hat YouTube conspiracy theorist, but still, just so you guys know. So, all right.
Thanks. I appreciate it, Travis.
No problem, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. We'll get your channel. We'll get a link to your channel out there during the podcast. So, all right. Just real quick here, we'll continue the intros here in a second. John Z, New York Outcast of Disability, says, I need prayers from everybody. In 2 weeks, I'm having heart surgery. If you can share around for me, dude. Hey, man, we're here for you, man. I hope that everything goes well. And you take care of yourself, and you've been doing that. And yeah, man, good luck with your surgery. Let us know how it goes. We won't have an episode next weekend. I'm actually going to be hiking, ironically enough, on one of those 2 days. And then I've got a birthday party for my mom coming up. So that's going to be happening also. And so I'm going to be busy next weekend. So we're going to delay the next episode of Caliber Corner 2 weeks. I'm sorry, but my weekends, guys, when I'm working during the week, I've got to have that time. I absolutely love to get out and do stuff and spend time with family. So you guys are my family too. But again, it's I can't be everywhere all the time. So I have to move something, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. So John Z, buddy, we're here for you, man. You take care. And yeah, you let us know how everything goes. Okay. All right. And John does mention in the comments, if you want to talk to him or whatever, he's mentioning what's coming up and what's going on. And a lot of those things, I've got family that's had those things done, John, and they've turned out fine. A lot of it's, I won't say outpatient, but a lot of it's serious, but it's done so much that you're going to pull through and you're going to be fine, dude. All right. Continuing with the introductions here. Let's see. Black Hat Outdoors, while we got you on the line, because you're mobile. How are you doing, man? What's going on? How's everything going?
All right. Can you actually hear me now?
Yeah, I'm gonna boost your mic just a little bit, so okay. I'll kind of keep an eye on it for you. Okay, go ahead, bud.
All right. Yeah, I was having a whole time getting in there.
No, yeah, I was trying to keep. I kept trying to add you, and you'd pop up, and then it'd pop you out, and then a couple times it was just swirling. So usually, when I get your thumbnail to pop up down below, I know you're with us, and it's legit. We're good to go. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it kept changing. I'm on my cell phone. It kept flopping between 5G and 4G, and then it said I had no internet for a while, and then it comes out.
Modern technology for you, so yeah. So let us know about you. What do you feature on your channel? I'm glad you came back for our episode, because outdoors is what we're talking about, and you've got a lot of great outdoors content on your channel. So yeah.
I wish I could have come back last
2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I was on the first hiking one. This kind of that's going to be probably the next content I put out will be on hiking because I'm going next weekend on a several-day backpacking trip. So
Oh, sweet,
I'm on
dude. That'll be
vacation
awesome.
for
You would
6 days,
document
so
it, film it, tell us about it. I mean, enjoy your trip, but at the same time, any info and real application of this stuff outdoors, aside from just these unusual unboxings and initial reviews that we give, it'd be nice to get some actual in the field recommendations. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to do. Actually, I have a couple things I thought about reviewing. It's just a matter of getting time for me to actually do it and set up the cameras and everything. You know, it takes a while, but like I have a couple pieces of gear I've been using for over a year now that I wouldn't mind putting a review out on because it's good stuff and it's not like the super expensive like bougie backpacking and hiking gear that people get, but it's stuff that like works just as well. And
it's not going to break on your
I won't
first
say
trip.
a lot of like I have my hammock I use for camping.
Yeah.
It's something that's going to last you a long time, but isn't like hundreds of dollars, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And as we showed in our backpacking chat that we had a couple weeks ago, you can go as low as $15, $16 like I did from Walmart, or you can literally spend, I think we were finding $1,200 backpacks. And maybe that was like an overinflated Amazon price, but you get into expedition, you get into some of these hardcore or Terex or whatever, and you can spend, you know, $200 on a pack or 511 tactical. They make great bags, but, or, you know, we started looking at Army surplus. And some of those surplus packs with the frame were pushing 175, 279, you know? So,
yeah, which is ridiculous because you can get, not ridiculous because you can get a modern internal frame pack for that's a halfway decent quality for that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
For $200, you can get in like an Osprey or a Gregory or something like that. They're kind of more big box type brands, not like, you know, your cottage
North Face or, you know, even, or Patagonia or whatnot. Some of those other companies were pushing 400 or 500, you know.
A really good one right now, actually. Sorry, I think there's a delay. I think I'm on a little bit of like a delay here. I keep talking over you. But I said a really good one right now. I just saw at a store. We have Dunham's here in PA, which is like an outdoors kind of store, kind of like a big sporting goods or something like that. But they have Kelly Coyote packs right now for like $100 for like a 60-liter Kelly Coyote.
We got Dunham's around here too, and you know we had them in Pittsburgh growing up there, so I know exactly what store chain you're talking about.
Hey, Nebraska has 3 of them. Nebraska has 3, dude. Legit. Like we actually they opened one up in just a small town, like not small, but smaller town. They actually they have one in Hastings, North Platte, and Fremont or something. So
it's up in
Squib, Mike, buddy. There you go. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, man. You got to go to gamer mode. Oh,
how about if I unmute too? Yeah, there's one up in Scottsbluff too.
Oh, okay. So they must have 4 because I just looked at the initial listing that came up on Google. They're nice because they do have the firearm selection, and a lot of times in small town Nebraska, you're lucky if there's a gun store within 50 miles, and you know.
So here's the thing about Dunham's: when nobody has ammo, they've got it, but their ammo sale price is still more than everybody else's normal price. So if you want ammo and you want it right now, go to Dunham's. You're going to pay a premium, but they've got it.
Yeah, so nobody has 30-30 in the middle of deer season. You can get it there, you know, $27 a box. But yeah.
Another time to buy ammo from Dunham's is when they're having a sale, because when they get their sale prices, they can have some good deals on it too.
Yeah,
I've gotten some good deals at our local Dunham's when they had the ammo on sale.
Everyone hates to do it, but if you sign up for their email thing, they send you random coupons for like 10-20% off, and then it makes it a little bit more reasonable. Like like especially around the holidays and stuff, you'll get like 20% off one item or something like that. But
nice. They'll do some decent Black Friday specials. Yeah.
And depending on how their coupon is worded, you can use that with their sales too. So you can get a really good deal on it if you sign up for their email alerts.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
I think I have a coupon on there now. I'm going to stop on my way home today and look at some gear.
There you go. The Travi mind tricks are working. You want to go buy stuff now, and you didn't intend to before you jumped on the podcast. Dunham's has good Black Friday ads. We always do our Black Friday special every year, and we'll go through all the main ads that post like a week or 2 in advance, sometimes a month in advance, you know, and to see what's on there. And again, for a lot of people who live in small town Nebraska, that's your cheapest option, short of taking the truck 80 miles to Cabela's and 80 miles back and dropping $30 in gas. You know, it's nice to just pay a little bit more, get it, be done with it, move on. You know, so
something people don't take into consideration a lot, especially when you're buying stuff online, is or you're buying stuff from
Oh, dude, 3/4 of the vehicles in the Shields parking lot are trucks and SUVs. So people pay a lot of money to drive. And a lot of times they're in Lincoln anyway for activities and sports. But like when I go to Cabela's, you'd have people from all over. You'd have counties that I didn't even know existed in Nebraska. It's like, where the heck do these people drive in from? And it was like, you know, or they'd go to Sydney or whatever. Like, and I used to do that too. I do 160-mile round trips to Cabela's or 80-mile round trips to Cabela's all the time when I lived out in central Nebraska, because that's the only place I could get stuff. If I couldn't get it from Stan at SS Pond, I'd have to go east or go west, you know. So and it was expensive. Gas and back in the, I mean, gas isn't cheap now, but gas back then $3.75, $4.25 a gallon. I was driving my Jeep, dude. I mean, I'd almost had to budget. It was almost cheaper for me to order online, pay for shipping, and not have to put the wear and tear on my vehicle than go 80 miles, you know.
I do a lot of online too. So I take into account online stuff like how much is my time worth too. If the place is an hour away, that's 2 hours driving.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, let's continue the intros real quick. Rich, tell us what you have to offer the internet and when we can check you out. What's on your channel? Let us know, man, or your channels.
What
what's
do
up?
I have to offer? A lot of nonsense. Last week,
but if people want the premier source of information on wrestling, where should they go, Rich?
Cultaholic.com.
The collection of Royal Rumbles on video, VHS down in the box in the basement, you know? Yeah.
No, but as far as my channel, we got the wrestling thing over on Wrestling Unloaded, though last weekend it was more like Notre Dame versus Ohio State Unloaded.
Everybody unloaded on each other's football, you know. Football anger, yeah.
Oh, that's okay, because on the main channel last weekend, we also we did the Steeler game. For episode 200 of This Week Unloaded, we watched the Steeler game.
You sports ball people, I'll tell you what, you know, it's yep.
It was like, I was not in the mood to do anything serious. So I was like, you know what, it's on Sunday Night Football. I can do two things at once. I can do my show and watch the football game at the same time. You should have did a watch,
what do they call like a watch event where everybody's watching the game at the same time. You're all just sitting there chatting with each other. Oh, you did a live watch or whatever? Yeah?
Yeah, that's what we did. That's what we do, man, with the wrestling pay-per-views. And then
heck yeah.
Jason Stewart's an Ohio State fan. I'm a Notre Dame fan, and they played last year and they played this year, and we did both of those games on the wrestling channel thing. So,
oh, dude, that's awesome. Wrestling Unleashed, and it's like the football chat. All right, man. Anything else you want to mention about the channel? You want to tell us about the times and when to check them out and stuff?
Yeah, the Wrestling Unloaded. The wrestling show is at 8:05 p.m. Eastern, usually on Saturdays. Tonight, though, we do have a wrestling pay-per-view. We have WWE's developmental brand NXT has their pay-per-view. We'll be going live around 7 or so for that. So.
Okay, cool.
And then Sundays on the Unloaded Media channel, we do This Week Unloaded, and that's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern usually.
So lots of good stuff to watch, man. You want to hang out for a while, you want to chat, you want to be part of the camaraderie, just head on over to the Unloaded Media Empire, and Rich has got you covered, man. Heck yeah.
Yeah, on the main Unloaded Media channel, there's also some product reviews and stuff like that up there too, and videos from the Great American Outdoor Show from the past and stuff like that. So
awesome.
And I finally, about 2 months ago, got the video on the HK USP done, showing off how it has an actual recoil system and not your standard Browning action. It's based on the Browning action, but we've talked about before, you and I, about how it's different and how it differs. So anybody who's curious about that, you can go check that out as well on the channel.
And that's your 40 cal, right?
Yeah.
Your USP 40 cal? Okay. That's been a really good
it's a year one model. So.
Oh wow. I've never shot a USP. That's one of the few guns I've never tested. I need to go see if I can rent one, or I just need to just straight up buy one. I think it'd be cool to have one. They're neat looking, and I have nothing. No, I can't say that. I do have an H&K trigger pack in my
I
set.
Told you,
but
I told you, man, when they had those for cheap at that one place to grab one.
They're like $3.99 or $4.99. You know, well, and they've been in the use case up at Shields several times. I've seen they've had some of the 45s up there. They've had some of the 9s. But and they'll have them for $3.99, $4.99. They'll be basically half, because they're normally a $900 gun.
$3.99?
You can.
I've seen the 40s
in there for under $400. So yeah, I don't think
used. I paid $700 for mine used.
Oh no, you can find them. Yeah, I was surprised what pops up in that use case. Sometimes it really catches it. Or even like P226s, like nice ones, they'll be $500, $599, and they look like they're brand new. You know, and they're normally like $1,000.
I have never seen a USP for that cheap. Good
I will
Lord.
send you photos, dude. I will send you photos. Yeah, like it's going to be 40 because they seem to have a plethora of 40s in their use case that just don't sell. So they mark.
Well, the USP was primarily made in 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying in general, a lot of the guns they get are going to be 40. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but the USP in general was mainly made in 40 Smith & Wesson.
I have nothing in 40. I really need to get back into that caliber. I need something for it just to have something.
Yeah.
But
the gun was made for the 40 Smith & Wesson cartridge. So especially the earlier years of it, you're going to find more 40 than anything in that handgun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did the opposite. Everybody else took their 9mm and turned it into a 40. They took their 40 and turned it into a 9mm
and a 45.
Yeah.
So real quick here, John Z, New York Outcast of Disabilities says, you got to find me a house for sale near Shields or however you spell it. Well, you can get houses in Lincoln. I was actually just for the heck of it looking at them, and good house in Lincoln. You know, man, that's not going to require a lot of work. You're probably looking at about 190,000. You can spend a lot less, but you're going to be getting something really old that's probably going to need a lot of work. But yeah, Shields, I like Shields. It's fun to go there. They got so much stuff, but I do go to other places. They've got Big Shots and Thunder Alley and Nebraska Gun downtown in Lincoln is one of my favorite places to go to. That's where I bought my lever gun that about a couple weeks ago. He's a good guy that works down there. It's just a little 1 or 2 man operation, small town, small gun store. It's got a lot of good inventory in there. So Squibby, when you come up, I'm going to take you down there. That place is awesome. You're going to love it. Just all kinds of parts bins to go through and box full of holsters and just racks of just like old guns just sitting there. And guy likes to negotiate too. It's a fun place to go. So Nebraska Gun is awesome. All right. Well, and then also with the introductions, last but certainly not least, we got Single Shot in the house. Hey, you still awake there, Single Shot? How you doing, man?
Oh, we're doing.
All right, you're just cruising down the road.
Just waiting waiting for the round here.
Oh yeah. Well, it's already been. Well, it's only taken us 32 minutes to get through the introduction. So, but that's okay because we wanted to give Alaskan Ballistics an opportunity to chat, and I'll try to get his channel up here, and I'll put the links so you guys can go over there and subscribe. So, so what you been doing, Single Shot? What you up to, man?
Oh, still riding the roads out here, doing our thing.
Now, over on your Rumble channel, you got anything fun coming up or what?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
As soon as I get things squared away,
I'm
gonna throw the keys in probably around November. So we're gonna have plenty of time to do some stuff there.
Wait, you're retiring again for the first time? I thought you retired a year ago. Have you been lying to us? I think you just said that so we'd go pad your GoFundMe fund, right? Yeah. No, but you're legitimately November. You're done driving in November.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I think I need to do an Eastern Eastern America road trip and get all the way out to get out to East Coast and meet up with you guys in Pennsylvania and Maine. And I've never been to Maine or New York State before. I've never been to Pennsylvania before. I've just done the DC kind of corridor and then went south to Florida. I have been to Cocoa Beach before in Florida. So I know that, but I haven't gone anywhere north. In fact, I avoided what was it, Georgia, when I was driving south into Florida, so I wouldn't have to disarm basically when I was going through because I don't recognize my carry permit. But maybe they do now, but they didn't 8 years ago. So
yeah, I think they do now.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. I've got some new toys coming up.
What do you got? What's coming up?
Oh, we got a Bear Creek 22 Magnum upper.
So what are you using for the lower for that? How's the lower working on that? Is it using standard lower with a Magwell adapter, or what do you do?
No, they actually make the magazines for it. They got it set up so you can use a regular lower.
Okay.
And it's a side charger.
Okay.
So that's something different for me.
Yeah.
But
they're fine, but you got to check that screw that the lever's hooked into. You got to check that screw and make sure it stays properly torqued. And I got to a point where I took my side charger out so little that I would just put a dab of blue Loctite on it, and then I'd clean it every couple of range trips. I mean, normally I do every range trip the gun gets cleaned up. I'm OCD about that, but for the side chargers, because that screw had to be loosened every time you took the bolt out, on those
Yeah.
Bear Creek guns that I would just take an Allen key with you to the range and tighten it. I don't think 22 mag will necessarily come loose with that inertia.
No,
Even
I
the
don't
Gen
think
2
so.
levers can come loose. They're a better design than
Yeah.
the Gen 1, which was just like a screw that went in the side of the bolt. These actually lock into place and screw in. They have a little more retention,
Yeah.
but they're still not perfect. So
No, but it's got a little full power on it, so I'm gonna have that to play with here real soon.
and then you've got a very high-end optic that some bottom feeder YouTuber sent you. I'm looking forward to seeing a video on that that optic. So yeah. Again, I
Well,
want
I'll
to toot
tell
my
you.
own horn, but I sent the old center point for my old videos to Single Shot because he's a center point fan, and this scope's been sitting in the box for years. And I haven't used it
I'll
probably
tell
2 or
you,
3
that
years because
thing
after I
is
switched over
nice.
to and I just said, you know what, I'm gonna send it to Single Shot. He can play with it and have fun with it and put it on a rifle and it's like a 4 to 24 by like 40. The thing is ridiculously large, It's way more glass than what I need to play with. And I've kind of switched over to Vortex and primary arms anyway. But yeah, good stuff. Are we ever going to get into a knife chat? I don't even know if we should just come back next week and start the knife chat. But no, man. So Single Shot, it's good to have you with us. Make sure you guys check him out over on Rumble. Daywolf is the channel. And then Single Shot with an exclamation point is what you want to look for on YouTube because there's a lot of Single Shot videos that are out there, but there's only one Single Shot that you really need to care
with
about.
An exclamation point.
Yep. There we go.
And it's 2 words.
Single Shot,
2 words.
exclamation point. Get over there, like and subscribe. Let's show them a little bit of love. Also, just
Appreciate it.
what's that?
I'd appreciate it.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And if you don't know, just something I've done for fun. My good friend of mine, best friend of mine, actually consider him my brother. He and I started a channel called Live Love Nebraska, where we do mom and pop restaurant reviews. And part of it is we're both incredibly busy, so we can't make as much content if we want to. If we were retired, we'd be doing videos every week. But what we do is we take him and his family. We'll go to different restaurants that are in Nebraska, showing you that there's a lot of really good variety out there of places to go and stuff to do. And we're going to feature a lot of historical sites. We're going to go to just some of the neat things to do. Right now, we've been primarily focused in Lincoln because that's where we live, but we're going to be hitting Omaha pretty soon. We're going to do a Western Nebraska tour. I'm going to go out to some of my old stomping grounds, some of the old restaurants and places I used to go visit. Man, we might even just drive out to my old range and just go out there for fun and just kind of show it off because I haven't been out there for probably 2 years. That I did most of my early videos on my channel, like the first 5 years of my channel, it was all the same place. So make sure you guys get over there, subscribe to Live Love Nebraska. I put the link there in the chat. I'd appreciate it. And we're posting videos. We're trying to do one a week, but it's just with his kids and activities and stuff, it's hard for us to find time to really get out and film. But we're doing it when we can, so we'll make it happen. But we've got another one we're working on right now that we're going to be pushing out there, and we've got an actual legit 15-second intro video because I never do that in my videos that we put together. That's going to be kind of fun to watch. But anyway, so let's get back on topic. So yeah, we're talking about knives and multi-tools and kind of getting out there. We're just going to roundtable this one, and you can talk about whatever you want, show off whatever you want. So we'll give each panelist an opportunity to share and show and tell. Like, what is your philosophy of loadout when it comes to hiking, when it comes to choosing a blade? Do you have something you take all the time? Do you have, any one blade in particular that you like to use? So, Squib, we're going to start off with you because you've done some good hikes. Do you pack anything special? Do you do the K-bar if you know you're going to be out in some pretty serious terrain? What is your preference for a hike when it comes to a blade? What do you do?
If I can find the mute button.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah. K-bar.
K-bar. All right.
I mean,
you don't think this is a little too much for just going down the?
I mean, depends on where.
So,
if you
go ahead, and then I got a question for you about the K-bar. Right? Yeah.
Well, no, go start with your question.
So the K-bar, a lot of people buy it, and I read these reviews, and they get upset that the blade broke or doesn't hold an edge. I think they need to realize it's primarily a fighting knife. Is that correct? I mean, by its definition, it was never intended to be a multi-survival tool, right? I mean, let's be honest here. With the way the blade's designed, do you want to split logs with that thing bushcraft style or not? I mean, what do you think?
I have.
Okay.
I have, and it didn't hurt it.
It will function as an all-in-one. It will do the job. Because I think a lot of people buy it thinking it's going to be their next Gerber multi-tool, and it doesn't always. It's not really the intention, but yeah.
So the K-bar started off as a hunting knife.
Okay.
And they adapted it for combat use.
Yeah.
This is a fighting knife. This is something you're going to use to kill the bad guys when your rifle goes down, your sidearm goes down, and this is what you've got, or you've got to be silent or whatever. You can use it for other things. You can use it for hacking through. I mean, this isn't a replacement for a machete. This isn't a multi-tool. It doesn't have a wire cutter on it or anything else. Like this is a fighting knife. But I've skinned a deer with this, not with this particular one, but with a K-bar. I actually cracked the sternum and split it open so I can get up in there and where you got to cut out the esophagus and everything else like that. And it had no problem doing that like it would do to a human being. Yeah. And it's not my idea choice or not. I didn't skin it. I gutted a deer. It's not my idea choice to gut a deer, but it'll do it. I have split a log with this before. I just jammed it in the log, hit it on concrete, and the log split in two. It's not what it's meant for. It can handle that. So if somebody's complaining that they're breaking the blade, or I'm not saying
it's like, well, it's they're
purposely abusing it and they're not using it what it was meant for.
Now, what about blade preservation? Just a little bit of gun oil on it to keep it from rusting. Does it ever have any rust issues at all, or not? Because I don't even know what the steel is. Isn't high carbon steel or something? Is that what the blade is?
I think
it holds an edge, dude. It has a wicked edge on it. But yeah.
I've never had corrosion. On the other hand, I don't even remember a time where I dunked my K-bar in salt water. I mean, and I have had it near salt water, but I mean, I suppose I could do an immersion test, but it's not meant to be the one thing you carry. And it's going to do everything. It's not an axe, a saw. You can't get them with a serrated blade. You can get them with shorter blades. You can get them with, different
handles. Mine's got is it the Kraton polymer handle? That's what I have, Kraton or Kraton or whatever and I do have the actual, I have the Kydex sheath or whatever, that hard plastic sheath if I'm going to mount it on a pack or something. This one's just got the belt loop. So if I'm going to be going off and say like out into the prairie, I'm going someplace that's going to be pretty primitive, I'm going to make sure I take a pretty stout knife with me because I don't know what I'm going to encounter. I mean, I want more knife than not enough knife, honestly,
So the one you've got is the one that we could check out from Supply. That's the fighting knife.
Okay.
And that's one. Nobody ever checked them out from Supply. I mean, it wasn't like they had a ton of these, but it wasn't in our standard issue. They actually, our M7 bayonet was the knife that we would carry. If you had one of these, a real K-bar, I'm not very good at holding in front of the camera. You went out in town and bought one. Okay. I mean, these aren't issue anymore. Maybe back in the 40s, but not anymore. It's a good all around knife. You could use it for self-defense. You could use it for hunting. You could use it for some bushcrafting. It's not meant to be an all day use tool. It's something that maybe you don't want to carry if the knife laws where you're at are a certain way, or you're worried that it's just going to create more problems or that sort of thing. But the sheath it has, it's designed for a big belt, so it might be a little bit clumsy carrying it on your regular leather belt, but if you put it on your pack or on some other gear or something,
on that kind of strap with that horizontal mount, the vertical mount or whatever, it's easier to move it because it is a big heavy knife.
There's an adapter. Well, there's an adapter you can get to make it fit on a cartridge belt, and that'll work for other things. Or you could rig it up whatever way you want, or have a sheath made, or there's all kinds of different things. But when I go hiking, I'm not usually hiking on the trail that everybody hikes on. I'm not saying I never hike on that. I mean, I've got a video from the Badlands where we're on a trail, and I was not carrying this. But like when I think of hiking, I do think more of I'm all alone. Out in the wilderness, whatever that may be, the desert or whatever. I've got a video with this where I actually used it to pick up a tarantula because he was in the road and somebody was going to run him over. So I picked him up with the K-bar and moved him off to the side.
That's awesome.
So yeah, they're good for moving spiders. But that's kind of my go-to knife just because I've known this for so long. It's not for everybody. There's nothing wrong with having a pocket knife or a multi-tool. I usually have this, 2 pocket knives and a multi-tool when I'm out. So
okay. And I can't remember, do they by default come with a leather holster? I think I had to buy my holster separate, if I'm not mistaken.
You can order the sheath separate if you want, if you lose yours or ruin it or whatever. But no, they're all supposed to come with one.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so the leather holster. And then the one that I bought, the Kydex holster, was one that I bought separate. That was like another 25. I think I bought now here's the thing you really got to watch out for with these. I would not recommend. I know they might be a little bit cheaper unless you're buying it direct from K-Bar, Amazon or eBay. They are just there's tons of copy. They're fakes. There's a ton of fakes that people are selling. They'll put it in a box, and you can tell if it's fake because the box doesn't look like the standard
Yeah.
K-bar box. Will be a crappily printed box. You can tell you got jacked on it. So I would not buy online unless it was from Amazon, shipped by Amazon, or it's going to be like a K-bar online store. I would rather buy it honestly from Midway or some other like, or what is like Knife, whatever, one of the online knife stores, because you're going to be getting a legit one. Because if you get a fake one, it's going to be crap, and you're not.
You'll probably find a real one at your local surplus store.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Or even even like Shields or Cabela's and stuff. They're going to have them also. So that's going to be another option too. So
if you're trying to get a particular style, you're probably going to have to buy directly from K-Bar.
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah. Because you go on their website and it's just tons of stuff.
Yes, a good one's about $100 with a sheath, and that's if you want one good knife to have that's going to last a long time, and just get one good one. That would be the way to go.
Now, do you consider a machete a knife?
I don't know. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I mean, in theory, a machete is just an oversized knife. If you want to say it's just a honed edge for cutting, that's what a machete really is. Because you can do knife stuff with a machete. I'm sure you could cut a steak with a machete. So, yeah.
So sometimes when I'm hiking, I will carry. This is a military issue machete. This has got the 22-inch blade. Most of them have the 18. You've got to look for this one. Finding a military issue sheath for it is a little bit difficult too. The 18s are just fine, but I like the longer.
You're going to get more cut per swing. I mean, you're going to be more efficient with it. Really, when you think about it, you're going to be cutting out more foliage per swing. Really, so.
Well, Dad had one of these. I remember when I was a kid growing up. We'd be in the woods in North Carolina. Dad would carry this with. And I wanted the same kind, so I got the 22-inch blade. But if you're, maybe shorter in stature, or weight's an issue for you, or you just want something that's a little bit more handy, the 18 does just fine. Okay. And there are more sheath options for the 18. But sometimes when I hike, I carry a machete with me, and I just put it on my belt. I'll wear a military cartridge belt or something of that style, which is kind of maybe too bulky or gaudy for some people. But for me, I can just put all my gear on there. It's what I know. It doesn't mean that's the only way. It's just what I know. So if I show up to something and everybody looks all bougie and I look like I just come out of boot camp, that's why.
You're probably going to get a lot of bougie. The younger crowd's probably going to be set on their Gore-Tex and their fine space age material jackets, and then you roll up with your canvas rucksack and your machete and stuff, and
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with some of these brands like Cold Steel and some of this other stuff, but they're not American made. And most of the stuff I get is American made. Doesn't mean everything I have is made in the USA. But I mean, I try to do that. And I mean, with the K-Bar, it's made in America. That's a military issue machete. It's military issue scabbard. Those are made in the USA. My buck knives are made in the USA. My Leatherman's made in the USA. You're going to get a better quality steel. You really are. Some of these people that are complaining that their knives are breaking, if they're not abusing them and they're breaking, where did you get it? If it's one of those knockoffs, what do you expect?
Yeah.
The knife you were showing earlier, the Outdoor Edge.
Yeah, the one with the little replaceable blades. Yeah.
Those are made overseas, but they're very popular with hunters because they're so sharp, because you can replace the blades. And a lot of people that I hunt with use those for skinning deer.
And here's the thing, is there an American-made alternative? Probably not.
Right.
So if there isn't, then just get it. I mean, I'm sure the company is probably based in the US. If they make a good high-quality product, again, I like to buy American too, but there's going to be some products where unless somebody makes it, and I mean, what's more important? Being able to safely gut a deer out in the wild instead of using your K-Bar, using a nice razor edge scalpel, foreign made knife, but doing it the right way. I mean, sometimes you just don't have a choice. And if somebody would make one, those of us that care would buy them. But if there isn't one there,
I don't think there is an American equivalent that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And sometimes with something else, it's a little bit clumsy. I mean, I did a 2 videos or 1 or 2 videos where I skinned a deer with my EDC knife. This is not meant for doing that.
No,
it's not, but it will do it. So it just depends on how stubborn you are, or what you've got with you, or but yeah, some of those imported knives work. They work.
Now, Abigail says you can use a cheap Walmart folding knife for self-defense if you had to. Yeah, I mean, I rocked one of my EDCs was an Ozark Trail that was $3.50 back in the day, and I still have that knife, and I beat the crap out of it, and it works. It would cut. I mean, it holds an edge, It ain't pretty. It's clumsy and heavy, but still, yeah.
I don't really look at a pocket knife or a multi-tool as a weapon. Somebody might go, "Oh, you're carrying a weapon." No, it's a tool, dude. And you might go, "Well, a weapon is a tool. It's a tool designed for self-defense or for killing."
If it was an absolute last ditch thing and you had to use it, okay, I mean,
not.
that's,
I'm not saying that I
Yeah.
would never use it, but it's not my like carrying this around. This isn't a weapon for self-defense. This is more of a screwdriver or a box opener.
Yeah.
For me, if I'm saying I've got a knife for self-defense, it's this thing. And obviously you're not going to carry this into Walmart. But for me, pocket knives and stuff like that, I look at that. If somebody came at me with a pocket knife, I'd feed it to them. Seriously. It's like, you don't scare me. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're elderly, if you don't have a lot of strength or physical prowess, if you need something that's within your state's laws or whatever, I get it. It's better than nothing. But when somebody goes, "Oh, you can't come in here, you're carrying a weapon." Dude, this ain't a weapon. I'm the weapon. Okay. So I look at these more utilitarian than self-defense. It is better than nothing. And I'm not saying you can't, cut somebody's throat or jam it through their skull or whatever. But
yeah, I mean, anything can be made into a weapon. A branch can do the same thing. So sorry, my dog's barking. He hears another dog outside, so he thinks he has to contribute. But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, I just look at those as more as screwdrivers. And if you've seen the tips of most of my EDC knives,
they're now made into you can grind them into little Phillips heads if you want to. So yeah,
he uses it at a screw. Even though there's a screwdriver on my Leatherman, I tend to
just
ruin my buck knives.
Nice. All right, Rich, what about you? What's kind of your philosophy when you guys go hiking, camping? What's your pack? What do you like to take with you? What do you do?
It depends on what we're doing. Normally, I'm just carrying this.
That's a Benchmade.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if we're doing any kind of serious hiking or anything where I need a pack.
Mm-hmm. Now, where'd you get that one? Is that an SOG or is that?
It's the Gerber Gator.
Oh, okay. And you got the serrations on the back, so you can saw if you.
That's not serration. That's an actual saw.
I guess I call it serration, saw blade serrated, but no, you're right. It is. Yeah. It's an actual saw blade on the back there. Yeah, for branches and limbs.
Yeah, you got the straight edge and then the saw blade on it.
So the handle is designed to be somewhat reversible. If you had to saw, does it flip around?
Yeah,
so
you could
okay, so it is angled. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I think we got this on sale for $30.
Okay.
They also have a smaller one, which is about this big.
Okay.
Right where my finger is. If you wanted a
little
smaller
more
one,
CQB machete.
yeah, basically, you put combination knife and machete all in one. I want to get one of the smaller ones for I don't know why. I just want one of the small ones.
It's like a little mini pack. You throw in a camping pack or something.
Yeah, you can keep in the car in case for emergency use.
Your mini shetty, yeah. mini sawzall.
I mean, honestly, the little one, it's only about that big. Yeah. From where my finger is to the handle. Yeah. It's got about the same size grip on it.
Okay.
And for an emergency thing to keep in the car or whatever.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, you could use it to saw through some small branches if you need to, or just to have a backup. Right. So yeah.
And I also have this. I think it was Alaska that said about having a hatchet.
Yeah. See, I don't. That'd be something I could definitely add to the collection. So.
Little.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Ooh. I have split small logs with this before. So I mean, you can if you're just making a small little fire to heat up something for lunch or something while you're out hiking or whatnot. You could use this for that.
Sweet.
It's better than like the machete. I mean, the machete, your long blade, but this gives you got more impact.
Well, and again, it depends on the terrain you're going to catch. It depends on the vegetation. Right. Like, I wouldn't need a machete with where I go.
If necessary, you got the spike on the back.
Oh yeah, there you go. If you need to really blunt object something, you can do it. So,
well, no, that spike, it's got a sharp point on it. You can, like, if you got a log that you can't get to start splitting, you can hit it with that spike, and then that spike will drive down into it and split it more, and then you can take the other side.
Oh yeah, finish it up,
split it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Now, what brand is that? Is that anything in particular that you'd recommend?
It's an S-wing. It's an S-wing. An S-wing.
Oh, okay. Don't they also make hammers?
Yeah, they make hammers. They make axes. I have a double-bladed camp axe. That's one of theirs as well.
Oh, cool. Okay. Sweet. All right. Any other preferences at all that you'd like to carry on you that you want to share?
Well, I'll also carry this one at times.
Oh. Okay, so it's almost like box cutter style, carpet knife style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a I call it my tactical utility knife.
Oh yeah, there you go.
One hand open, close.
That's another thing too to consider is if you have a folder, make sure you have something you could use with one hand in case one hand's occupied with something you can.
Right.
Like
if you got to hold something,
later, but yeah,
if you got to hold something, it's a lot easier to have one hand.
Flick it or push a button or just lever it or have it click out. Yeah. Cool.
And then I also have my Buck 119 that I'll carry if we're going camping and stuff.
Okay. Sweet. All right. We'll go ahead and move on to Black Cat here. Black Cat, what about you, man? What would you have to say? What's kind of your go-to when you're hiking? Do you pack according to the terrain and the length of time you're going to be out there, what you're going to encounter? Do you just have one all-in-one that does it for you? What do you prefer?
For the most part, like if I'm just doing a day hike or something, that's my EDC knife is
Spyderco?
Yeah, I have a Spyderco. It's the Tenacious Lightweight.
Okay.
And it's beat up because I use it. But
yeah. That does that hold a good edge? Because I don't have any Spyderco.
Yeah.
And I want to get one. I want to get a paramilitary too, like most people. Yeah.
I have the original Tenacious, which is kind of a cheaper knife. It's China made. That's made in China.
But
that did not hold an edge. That was my biggest bitch about it. This one, if you get the lightweight like this, now they're going to cost you a little bit.
They're made in Golden. They're actually made in Colorado at the Golden Colorado factory. You can actually go there and see them. So
these ones are S35 BN steel, so they will hold an edge way better.
Okay.
But they're also going to, whereas the original Tenacious is only like about a $40 or $50 knife, and that's a $100 knife. You know. So
yeah.
It depends on how much you like sharpening your knives.
Oh yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah. And the
I'm
other
just kind of
thing,
showing off the catalog. Yeah, go ahead.
The other thing I usually carry, I had been recommending the Gerber Dime little multi-tool.
Oh yeah,
that I carry every day.
Yeah.
But I've lost 2 of them now and broken one of them in the last 2 years. So I've given up on spending that much money. So I got this little one at Cabela's the last time I was there for like $9.
Oh, okay. Is that the Cabela's brand pocket tool?
Yeah, and I can't lose it for some reason.
They
25 Gerber Dimes I lose all the time.
When you walk into Cabela's, they have bins full of those when you walk in there. They're usually $4.99 to $9.99. Sometimes they're on Black Friday sales. I got one in my pistol box actually.
Yeah. So that usually sits in my pocket every day.
There you go, man. I think it even came with a little pocket sheet to put it in. So this is my little Cabela's pocket tool. So I've had this one for years. Yeah.
I don't even use. I just throw it in my pocket. Or if I have a backpack, I'll just throw it in one of the pockets of my backpack. Usually, if I have something with hip belts, this goes in my hip belt pocket. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Just handy to grab if you need it for something. If I'm going for multiple days, like the trip I'm going to do here next weekend, then I'll usually throw in. I usually use a Mora, either a Mora Companion.
I've got a couple.
Basic. They're super lightweight and they're sharp. Yeah.
15, 20 bucks. You got a drain hole in it. If you go through water, these are great for like being out in the wet. And the edges on these things, man, you could do like open heart surgery with this thing. It is so freaking sharp. It is scary how sharp it is. This thing will. The edges are just, and these are made in Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. These are not made in China. These are made in Sweden. And 15, 20 bucks, man. They've gone up in price a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. For the most part, if I'm doing anything else, like on a hiking or a camping trip, like where I'm hiking, is I'm opening like mountain house meals or cutting a piece of cheese or something with it. So that's more than enough.
Exactly.
On my backpacking trips, if I'm planning on spending like the next weekend, I'm going with my daughter. She usually likes to have a campfire, so I'll probably carry a little. I have this stuff with me. Obviously, I carry a little Gerber folding saw that just folds up and fits in your pack.
Okay.
That's about it for knives, really, that I take along with me on.
And maybe
like
take
that.
Size and weight into consideration too, because if you're gonna be out there, you're doing a long walk, like we would say. You know, if you're not in shape, or if you know you have back issues, you want to watch out, because some of these this stuff can really start. You just sometimes take too much crap with you out in the field. You know.
See,
you just don't need the extra weight, so yeah.
Cool, I have knee issues, so less weight equals way better for me.
Yeah, I mean knees can be.
I try to carry the lightest stuff. Yeah, I try to carry something light as possible, but like I said, those Moras work freaking awesome, and you can get a 2-pack of the basic Moras on eBay for $20.
Yeah.
They're $10 a piece. If you want to really splurge and go with a companion, they're 20, or a Garber. I mean, you can go all the way up to like $30 or $40 for one of those. You know?
Well, and I was kind of saving it, but I do have my bushcraft with me also, my Mora bushcraft that I bought.
Yeah.
I don't have the striker model that has the fire starter on it. It has the edge on it, but you can get one that has it out. It's got to lock on your fire starter, so I'll show off the bushcrafter in a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, those things, and they're cheap enough that if you leave it at a campsite or at your lunch site or falls out of your pack or whatever, you're not heartbroken. You know?
The bushcraft is 80, but a basic Mora at 20, yeah, you can afford to, you know, if it gets something happens to it, you're not out. You can, I mean, a lot of times they'll sell them at like Tractor Supply Company has them up by the check stands. They have them in little boxes. You can just grab one and buy one on the way out if you need a replacement. I ordered this one off of eBay, I ordered this one off of Amazon. Both of them many years ago. You know, I've had mine for quite a while.
I used to give them away. The Mora basic, the carbon steel basic ones. You used to be able to get them for like $20 or $22 a 2-pack on eBay, and I used to give them away to people. You know what I mean? Here's a $10 knife that you might be useful. You know,
they're very but they're well made for what they are. I would rather have this versus an Ozark Trail from Walmart. I would take a Mora any day, just because it's well built. It's got good handling on it. It's got kind of a sticky silicone type of handle that'll grip when the wet. Because they're where they use them, where they up in Sweden and stuff, they deal with a lot of maritime conditions and rain and snow. So that kind of design philosophy carries over into the knife, you know, for export too. So
they have a beefy handle on them too. Like a lot of them, like if you get the companion, even looks a little goofy because it's a 3-inch blade with a full size handle. But if you have I have kind of bigger hands. They work great. I mean, they
give you less hand fatigue because you can put a full purchase on it, and you can use your full grip strength to do, even if you're doing whittling and stuff. I mean, it does look a little funky having this giant handle with a little blade, but you know, I mean, the companion, they also have like a hobbyist one. I think that's for like whittling and stuff you can get. So, it's pretty cool.
I mean, they work just for that. You can even do light bush, even with the companion, will do things like feather sticking and stuff. I mean, cut notches and stuff. If you're doing light bush craft work, you're not going to be, you know, slamming it through logs or anything. But,
oh yeah. And if you want that, they've got heavier duty models for stuff like that. If you really think you're going to go into those extreme conditions, you know, that Mora does make a knife that's going to have, you know, a more extreme application to it, almost like K-bar level. And at that point, I'd almost just get a K-bar. If you're going to go that extreme of use, then the K-bar is going to not be much more, because the bushcraft was 80 and the K-bar was 100. So it's like the K-bar is much more knife for the money, but the bushcraft is just a little more specialized, just kind of a little bit more svelte, if you will, a little bit lighter, you know? Yeah. Cool, man. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to single shot. Single shot, what's your choice in knife? What do you like to take? What's kind of your preference if you ever go on the outdoors or when you're traveling? Do you have a blade preference at all?
Oh yeah, I usually use a 4-inch folder. Okay. And I've got 2 specific hunting knives that I use. One of them is actually made for dressing an animal, and the other one is made for handling whatever you got to handle. And they're both high quality. I've got a Leatherman that I carry as well. Yeah. So I've always got plenty of edges to use if I have to. I'll use my tomahawk. I'll take that with me, and I'll have that stuff as far as going out on a hunting trip. But just for EDC, I've got a Leatherman and a cheap folder that I use out here on the road. It's good enough for what I have to have. I've lost some good ones.
Oh, I know.
I gotta get another K-bar, and I lost that in the fire. My dad bought me a Bowie knife.
Okay.
And that thing held an edge that you could shave with. And I got to put some new scales on the handle because it got burned off.
Okay.
But I'm going to clean that up and try to get that back into service. The sheath for it was destroyed, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to find something like that or not. But I don't even know what brand it was. You know, like I say, he picked it up for me for my birthday one year, and I don't recall what the specifications were on it as far as the maker and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that was excellent. If I had dress a deer out, usually with the legs or whatever, support that leg on something, bring that Bowie knife down across it, and it was gone. That thing would cut through an inch and a half of bone, all easy.
Yeah, the Bowie knives, we never really did get into that. I mean,
hit-
Buck makes a fantastic one you can get. I mean, that's nice, just a nice have almost a nice alternative. You want something a little more, like a little bit more broad blade, you can definitely go the Bowie knife route.
Oh
too.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That thing works well. But that's about it for what I carry. I try to keep the weight down because I've got a military small arms magazine pouch that I carry on my pistol belt. And that's my survival gear. I got a fire starter and a bunch of other stuff in there.
Okay.
So that works out pretty well. I even have an extra blade in there just in case. I want to mention one though that I got from Cabela's.
Yeah, what do you got?
It's a little, well, it's about a 2.5 inch blade.
Yeah.
It's a folder. And that thing is as sharp as a razor. You know, I could easily shave with that thing. No trouble at all. And I picked that up at Cabela's, I think it was a $10 bill for that thing. I'm going to buy me another one just in case I lose this one.
I do find just a single drop of gun oil, like on a patch, just to wipe a blade off every couple years. That'll preserve. And I always wipe it off before I cut food with it, you know. But I mean, like, as a preservative, because we could go down a rabbit hole of a discussion on blade materials, and we're not going to do that. You get whatever blade's going to fit your application, because like there's carbon steel, and then there's alloys, and there's chromoly, and there's stainless, and I mean every knife blade has its own advantage and disadvantage.
Damascus, you got all kinds of different stuff.
Which again, we're just more about talking about throwing some models out there, and then you make the best decision you can from the information we have for you. Damascus steel. I mean, you could spend a lifetime, you know, collecting knives and choosing knives. And, but again, these are just kind of like some models that we use that have worked for us. Now, are they the best knives out there? Not always, no. But there's something you can look into and some good suggestions, you know. And it's scary how sharp some of the edges are on some of these small knives, you know. Yeah, you can really use it.
I picked up a Smith & Wesson folder, skeletonized. I lost that son of a gun. I cussed at myself for a month about losing that. First time I used that, I went to close that and got my right thumb in the way, and I took the end of that son of a gun right clean off.
They're sharp,
and
man.
It didn't
sharp.
I'll tell you, like I said, that Tanto blade was just like a razor.
Yeah, I mean the Smith & Wesson ones are made in China, but they do make a good line of just like $40 knives. You know, if you want a good if you want to maybe an alternative to a Kershaw, you know, if you want something or they're a little more tactical in nature. Sometimes the Smith & Wesson knives are, and they do a lot of auto knives and like spring loaded knives and stuff like that. So there you go.
Smith & Wesson.
Does that bring back the memories there? Single shot. There you go.
Oh yeah.
So Rich, how well has it held up for you? Has it been good?
Oh, I've had this for almost 20 years now.
Oh my God! Oh wow! I didn't realize they've been out for that long.
Yeah,
okay.
This was my EDC knife for a long time.
You got the C-belt cutter. You got
you can see it's been used.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's got some love. It's got some patina, as I like to say. Nice. Well, I guess you can't go wrong with that. So yeah. All right. Cool. Okay. So before I talk and show off what I have, Gizzard Gary, man, Knife Master Gary, Edge Master Gary. So what do you think, man? What would be your go-to? What would you recommend to people? What do you love?
I got so many knives. You know,
I know it's like choosing your favorite child, but you got to narrow it down to just one, Gary. Which one's going to get the child support, Gary?
Just to give you an idea, and it varies from time to time, but right now at this point in time, what I carry with me every day is on my hip. I have a Leatherman rebar.
Okay. Oh, I've got one downstairs in my car. Yeah, your multi-tool. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yep. Rebar is my one of choice because everything locks back on it and everything. So.
And it takes a heck of a lot of abuse. They're pricey, but if you're just going to have one Leatherman, if you're not going to go down the Leatherman rabbit hole and start collecting them, rebar's the way to go, dude. Straight up. Right. Not maybe the most comfortable and ergonomic, but it's going to do the job and it's very useful. Mine's taken a beating over the last almost 8 years now. Yeah.
And they've got a great warranty. So yeah, and let's say you got that as a gift from somebody and you want to keep it because it's sentimental. On the warranty form, there's actually something where you can put in, this is sentimental, do not replace it, because it's easier for them to just go, here's a new one, right? They'll actually take it apart, replace the broken part, put it all back together, and send it back to you if you request it.
Or like, yeah, what I see, yeah, because on mine, when I broke Gary, I'll come back to you in a sec. I broke this little tip off of mine when I was cutting through some very, very heavy plastic one time. That broke. And I contacted them and they were shocked. And they said, well, just send it in. They said, what we're going to do is send you a new one right now. And they said, we're going to send you a prepaid envelope just in the good faith that you're going to send us your knife so that we can see what happened. I'm like, yeah. And she goes, we'll send you a brand new one. It's not going to be a refurb. She goes, we'll get you one. And I was like, okay. So I sent it. Sure enough, like a week later, I got a brand new Wingman in the mail. And I dropped the old one in a prepaid envelope, and they do take care of you. I'm assuming the Leathermans are American made. I'm assuming they're all made in the USA.
I believe so.
You're paying a premium for them. So yeah. So Gary, then what else do you like? What else do you rock? What else would you recommend for somebody? What are some of your favorite brands?
Oh, well, what I carry with me most of the time, believe it or not, is my Microtech.
Okay.
It's a UTX 85, so it's not quite the full size Microtech, but I carry a lot of Civivis from time to time.
I love the Civivis, and they got that handle that's kind of a fabricy, it's like a fiberglass fabricy handle that's almost like a Bakelite handle. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that I showed off on my channel. That one's actually just in my bug out bag, ready to go. So yeah.
Civivi is one of my favorite brands. I also have a handful of Benchmades.
Okay.
I've got a handful of Bucks. I just recently got a 119 a few months ago because that was kind of on my bucket list of knives I had to have. So, like you, I've got the Moras. One of them, thanks to you, as a matter of fact, you sent it to me.
It was just the companion, right? I just sent you the basic companion. Is that? I don't remember what
color
it was.
You sent me the Bushcraft.
Oh yeah, you got a Bushcraft in a drawing, didn't you?
I think so. Anyway,
there's like 5 models of Bushcraft that you can get. This is kind of the entry level one, but it gets you into it. So
it was the Black Blade, let's put it that way. And I do have the basic Mora also. So I do like a Mora. If you want something you probably can't destroy, that's a good choice. And if you did destroy it, it's pretty easy to replace.
Yeah.
But they'll do everything. So like I say, I've got lots of different knives. I've got that Kershaw, which I believe you also gave me. Kershaw Emerson.
Yeah, this one right here. I've got 2 different sizes. This one was sent to me.
Those are a great knife, too.
Melvin Nutt sent me one. He sent me this big one, and then I wasn't paying attention to Nebraska knife laws. Now it's changed, but I think if you had over either a 3 1/4 or 3.5 inch blade concealed, it would be considered a weapon. You could get a concealed weapons charge. So I got the smaller version of this that had like the 3 1/4 or 3.15 inch blade. And that was my EDC for the longest time. But now that the knife laws have changed for concealed knives, I've gone back to the like 4 1/4 inch. So here's what's cool about it, Gary. Do you like that wave deployment system?
Oh yeah,
dude. This it's okay. So it's in your pocket, and as you pull it out, this will catch on your pocket, and it'll fling open, and it pulls open with one hand. It kind of scares people when I whip it out. They're like, "Oh my god," because you got this freaking nice dagger that you whip out, right? But the wave
practice with it a few times.
But. Yes, and if you and this was what I think it was Matthew Melvin Elvers that gave me this one. I think it was Daniel Pfeiffer. It was one of the two. I'm sorry, it's been a long time, but what he told me is if you ever get patted down by security and they go, you need to tell them when you pull that knife out of my pocket, the blade's going to come out because they might reach for it with their hands and not realize and stick, because it can flick open if it's when it comes out of your pocket, it catches every time. Otherwise, you do have your little thumb knob here also. These are $40, and I beat the heck out of this one. It holds an edge okay. I mean, it's not the best, but it does take a lot of maintenance, I think, to maintain the blade on it. But yeah, Gary, how well has yours held up for you? Has it been good?
Real well. That was my first Kershaw too, and I was pretty impressed by it too.
She's solid, dude. I mean, it's made in China, but I mean, it's a very this sucker's heavy. I don't know if I sent you did I send you the full size model, like the 4-inch model, or I just send you the littler one? Do you know?
I think it's full size.
The full size? Because I think I asked you if you had any knife laws, and you said no. Can you carry it? Good, it's legal.
Right. No.
Yeah, my little one's just over in the drawer, and it's just a miniature version of this one. So exactly like scaled down version of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So many brands I love. I also have quite a few Bokers.
Okay.
So,
I forgot about Boker. Yeah.
So yeah, all kinds of stuff I enjoy. I've kind of become a knife aficionado in the last few years.
I gotta be honest, Gary, I was secretly hoping you were going to be on the show today because you've had so much experience and you work with so many vendors and have shown off so many knives and you're doing more. Knife videos are one of the few things that won't get limited or no ad slapped on it by YouTube.
I do love knives. And that was something I didn't know that would interest me, but as I got into it, it's like I just can't stop. I go into a store and the first place I go is the knife aisle, that and the gun aisle. You know, you got to look them both down.
We'll get you to the knife aisle out at Shields when you come out here. They've got cases. They have display cases with all the nicer knives in it, like the Benchmades and the. I know people hate Benchmade. That's fine. I don't disagree with you. I'd buy Spyderco over Benchmade. But anyway, you know, you do whatever you want that's going to fit your needs. But they have like all the Spydercos on display. They've got like the giant swords on display in the display cases. If you want a samurai sword or a ninja sword or a barbarian sword, they've got all that in glass cases. Then they got their higher end, like their Microtechs or their OTFs. You know, like Cold Steel and stuff like that. Yeah.
I was just in Wichita Shields last Saturday.
Oh.
We went because we were there for TriggerCon. The hens were there, and so we made a Shields trip out of it one afternoon. And
did you like it? Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's my second time in the store, but I hate going in there because it always costs me money.
I know, dude. And the worst part's when you get their Shields credit card, it's like, and they love to. I mean, they give you good discounts on it. They give you extra points if you buy stuff in store, and about every $2,500. Which seems like a lot, but when you're a gun guy or a knife person, it doesn't take long for that to happen. You get a $25 gift card in the mail.
I've already got the Cabela's Club card. Don't get me started on another card, man.
Well, the Shields one, here's how they ring you in. It's like $75 off your first purchase, and then they'll have customer appreciation days where you'll get 5 points per dollar instead of 1 point per dollar. So like every $500, you basically qualify for another $25 gift card, and then you spend $500, you get a free T-shirt or hat every time or mug. It's like, good God, man, stop it. Just when you think you get your money, I get the freaking Shields catalog in the mail twice a year, you know, just when you get your paycheck. So
did somebody say credit card?
Yeah. Oh, I love my Shields card, man. It's my biggest. A couple times I've had to put it in the safe. I mean, I have one other card. I have an Amazon Visa as a backup, but I mean, that Shields card's like, I don't want to take it with me because if I do, I'm going to go buy something I want, but shouldn't probably buy right now, you know? But anyway, yeah, but Shields has got a great selection of knives. If you want to see them in person, handle them out of the package. That's one advantage to Shields. Also, don't rule out your gun shows. There's always a lot of knives on display. Gun shows. A lot of buck knives show up there. I've seen a lot of Moras. There's just tables of knives. You know, Gary, what do you look for in a well-made knife? Let's say a foldable. What is it that you look for? Do you look for smoothness of deployment? Do you look for
smoothness
of the blade in the frame? What is it? Yeah.
Smoothness of deployment. I want a centered blade. That blade needs to be centered well. I can't stand an off-center blade.
Yeah.
Carryability. I'm looking at the pocket clip, how it's positioned. Is it strong? I've had pocket clips break. So I want that knife to go down in my pocket. So I want to be able to deep carry it. So I want that clip and the edge as much as possible.
Screw out of mine, and I need to call them and see if I can get a replacement. I've had to put red Loctite on the screws because they would keep coming loose about every couple months. So I just red Loctited them and then screwed them in there, and I don't really care because I'm missing a screw, but you don't even really notice it. This does not move at all, but that third screw would be really handy. I was going to contact them and see if I could get one. I doubt it, but you know, they might have one.
Blade material, I want something that's not going to rust, something that's going to last and hold an edge. That's
carbon steel
is
not as rust resistant as stainless, but stainless doesn't hold as good of an edge. There's some advantages, you know, one over the other. Like I said, we could have a discussion on blade material alone, but I would either go stainless steel or carbon. But carbon, I think, requires more maintenance. You know, obviously, you want to look into manufacturers' recommendations for sharpening. What do you do for sharpening, Gary? Do you have like an actual grinding belt, or do you have like a whetstone? What do you do?
I have the work sharp, the manual work sharp. I haven't spent the money on the powered one yet, but I want to someday.
I'm asking for one for Christmas. I want to get the handheld one because Shields has one on display. You can whip your EDC out and sharpen your blade right there in the store. Now they need to change the sanding belt on it because it's done, but they have they have a handheld one that it has a little V. And you lock the blade into the V and turn it on, and the sandpaper grinds your blade. You just whip it through both sides, and like 10 seconds later, your edge is back. It's so nice. Of course, it's like, you know, we're weird as gun guys. We'll drop like $100 on a set of iron sights that we might use on a gun once or twice a year. But when we want a knife grinder, I'll be damned if I'm going to spend $80 on a sharpener, you know? but
right.
the knife gets used daily. We're stupid sometimes with how we spend our money as gun
Yeah,
guys.
you buy
like
a red dot for a pistol and spend $200 or
$400, but I won't spend, you know, like more than $20 on a sling. What's going to cause more pain, right? You know?
That's a fact.
We're stupid. I mean, seriously, prioritize people. Get a good sharpener. Get a good sharpener or a Woodstone or a good grinder. I'm going to get that power grinder, and we'll do a video on it for Christmas.
And
I've got
mom, if you're watching this, I know you're out there. She was in here earlier. I want that knife grinder for Christmas. So, yeah.
I've got that belt grinder, the little handheld.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's
what
this is. Yeah.
Yeah. And that came with 3 different types of belts, you know, different grits. I'll use that if I've got to cut a cheek down. You know, if that's got to be taken off, then that thing works great. But my final step on that whole process after sharpening, taking the cheek down, I've got a Lansky system.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, brother, that thing will put an edge on a knife, and it stays there if you use the right angle. That's got 4 different settings on that Lansky that you can set for your edge angle. And a good fellow to watch as far as knives, he makes them by hand. He's a hand knife builder, and that is Colton Knives. It's here on YouTube. And he goes into in-depth analysis on how his edges are done. He even goes down to a 6,000 grit block to put an edge on a knife. Now, I'll tell you what, one of these days I'm going to buy one of his knives, Joe Colton, Colton. And he's an expert. The man knows what he's talking about. He'll build it from a scrap of steel, not a scrap of steel, but a strip of steel.
Okay.
1065, 1085, I think it is, in different types. He heat treats them, sharpens them, the whole 9 yards. He makes the scales for them. So some of his knife works is beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing too. We completely just overlook the mom and pops, which is what we try to be about, the small shops.
Yep.
So there's probably some very good reputable shops out there that will custom make a knife where you're going to pay, you know, $200, $300, $400, $500 on up, depending on what kind of wood you want or what kind of handle you want. But you know, it's really hard to beat a well-crafted handmade knife if you want to reward yourself or you want something, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's just like anything. You can spend however much money you want on knives too.
Yeah.
But if you want something that's going to be you know, but don't ever rule out the custom shops. If you want to get something that's going to be made for your needs.
He's a small knife shop, so
yeah,
you know, he just got a small business, but he does well.
Okay. Very cool, man. All right. Let's see here. And I was going to grab some more stuff to show off, but I mean, like I said, so hopefully in this discussion today, we're not done just yet, but maybe we've kind of steered you some brands to check out, some thoughts to have. I would say if you're going to do a serious hike, have a good, you know, fixed blade knife that you can have, and then have a foldable as a backup. And I'll show you my backup, right? Pocket tools. You just don't want to waste time. I recommend, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, Leatherman Wingman's a nice kind of gateway drug into the Leatherman world. If you want to get just a nice $40, $50 Leatherman that's going to do the job. These used to be a little bit cheaper, but this has got a lot of good tools on it. The rebar is probably my preference, a little bit bigger. I got a sheath for mine, and I keep it in my car because I mean it's a wonderful pocket tool and it can get beat up and dirty, and I don't really care. So let me kind of take you through real quick what I would take on. Or Squib, did you want to say something real quick? Do you want to show something off before I go off on the 5 that I'm going to share?
Yeah. I'm actually using my Leatherman Wave right now.
The Wave, yeah. So the difference between the Wave and the Wingman was the Wave. The Wingman has the little pocket tool. Don't you have a different pliers? Is there a difference in because the Wave and Wingman are very similar to each other? Or no?
I think the pliers might be the same.
The blade is different, I think. Let me see here. So the Wingman, what do I have for? Okay, so the blade on the Wingman's on. Okay, the blade on the Wingman's on the outside. I forgot about that. So this is we'll compare because I would recommend maybe even getting both, but there is a slight difference between the two. Okay, so I've got a serrated edge on the Wingman. You have a straight edge on the.
I've got a serrated as well.
Oh, you do. Oh, and see, and that's what you don't get on the Wingman. Yeah. You don't get the saw.
Honestly,
so
the thing that I use the most on this
show and tell
is the screwdriver.
Okay, and that's on the Wave.
Yeah, it's got
the Wingman.
And there are bits that you can buy. I actually carry them in my Manny pack that will drop in here. So I've got extra bits that I carry in the pouch that I carry both my cell phones in.
Okay.
And it's got a miniature screwdriver and scissors, and so I use it more for that, really. I mean, the screwdriver blade, it looks real low profile, but this Phillips will grab a stripped out screw. I mean, this is one of my better screwdrivers.
So I would say, well, and here's what they do for you on the Wingman. I would say go if you want more of a tool, like outdoorsy tool, go with the Wave. Your Wingman's got just like a very flat Phillips head, and then just a standard, screwdriver head. And I'm not sure what this one is. This might be like a little. It's got that's your Phillips and your standard head. And like I said, these are nice entry level Leathermans that you want to get if you want to get just something to throw in a camping pack. Obviously, you got the plastic cutter. This is good for bubble pack plastic packing, like the stuff that everything comes packed in. If you want to cut stuff out, you've got a file right here in the middle, and then your bottle opener, can opener, or whatever right here in the end. And I'm sure there's probably a bunch of tools I'm missing, but those are some options for you.
The one thing I want that they don't, and I don't think Leatherman has on any of their multi-tools, is the corkscrew.
Yeah. Oh, the corkscrew. Yeah, no, you got to go with the Swiss Army knife if you want the corkscrew. You got to get the Wagner, camping model or whatever. So yeah, Gary, what were you showing off? Is that a Gerber? Is that a Viking? What is that?
Yeah. Now I've always been a Leatherman guy for years and years and years, but Defense Dad turned me onto this. I think it was a year and a half ago. This is a Gerber Suspension NXT, and for a decent, inexpensive multi-tool, I mean, this has got everything on it, locking blades and everything. It's not horrible quality at all. So if you want an alternative to the Leatherman, I would recommend this. I really enjoy it.
What was the model again? What's it called again?
It's called the Suspension NXT.
And I think Defense Dad's used the heck out of his, and it's held up really well. So
yeah, I keep this on my desk. This is the one that if I'm in shorts or something, I always have it handy to do work around here. And it's got the full, what I like about it, it's got the full Phillips head screwdriver on it. Like some of them have a one that's kind of cut off.
Mine's flat, like a bar. Yeah.
This is a full Phillips. I say, everything locks back, and you can get to all the tools while it's closed.
Okay. Oh, cool. And you got the belt clip, which is nice. You don't have to buy an extra sheath unless you want to. So yeah.
So it's not a bad little option if you want a Gerber. So
Rich, go ahead, Rich, and then Squibby will come back to you. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah. Well, I got a Gerber here too. This is the center drive. It's got the pliers and everything. Pliers come out the front.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
you can actually one hand open the pliers.
Dude, that is sweet. Now, does it have any kind of a ratchet system on it, like a socket system at all, or not? Because they call it the center drive, or no?
The center drive, because the screwdriver is aligned center to the tool. So your screwdriver isn't off to the side.
Oh, man.
So you can actually.
And that is so annoying if you need to do any legit screwdriver action, that if you don't have a centered one. Well, actually, mine's off a third, or mine's kind of in the center, but yeah.
It uses bits, and it is magnetic as well.
Oh, sweet. Very nice, man. It's another option for you guys to think about. Yeah.
And it does have the knife blade on the outside as well.
Oh, okay. Which is very nice. Very handy to have, so you don't have to unfold it if you need a little bit quicker deployment.
If you need to get this serrated, you do have to open it, but the flat edge, straight edge is on the outside.
Okay. Cool. All right. And Squibby, what do you got? Do you want to show us the pouches?
I'm not done because there's a little.
Sorry, I had no idea.
This sheath has a little pouch where you get your little kit of bits.
And the nice thing is, if those would break or if there's problems, you can just buy another strip of them at Harbor Freight. They take a standard universal, 3.5 millimeter bit or something like that. Is that what it is? Or 4 millimeter bit?
Yeah. And this made in USA with a lifetime warranty on it.
Oh, cool. Wow. Okay. And what's the brand again?
Gerber. It's a Gerber center drive.
What are we talking at for price? Are they about 100?
This one was $95.
Okay. Cool. That is a very nice alternative to the Leatherman. Just the way you can access the pliers without having to unfold it, the blade access, the tool access is awesome. Okay. All right. Squibby, what do you got?
I was going to bring up a multi-tool I don't have, but the Gerber, is it the 600 that's got the front sight post tool on it? Do you guys know?
Oh, yeah. There's the Gerber, and then also Leatherman makes an AR-15 tool. Yeah. Go ahead, Rich.
Does Leatherman make one?
Yeah, Avid makes multi-tools for firearms use as well.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
Real
use
Avid's
that
a
one.
good brand.
Yeah, this one here, this is part of my range gear. I got the little pry bar on there and stuff. I've had 22 shell casings get stuck in the cylinder on my Heritage Rough Rider. Take that pry tool and pop them right out of there.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I showed that part of it or not.
Let's check it out real quick. Do you want to show that?
Yeah, I'm getting to it. Yeah, so you got the little pry bar there. That's also your bottle opener.
Oh, wow. That, like I said, that's definitely got my attention, man. That looks pretty freaking. That's almost like an all-in-one. That is I mean, it looks like a little miniature toolbox you got there. Yeah,
and all the tools lock.
Okay.
Open. So you got the little lock mechanism right here, which is also your lanyard loop, and then all the blades are basically liner lock kind of.
Very nice.
Hey Travis, I'm gonna have to jump out and get ready to go out.
Yeah, we're almost done. I was going to show off a couple of mine. I've already kind of showed most of them off, and there's just one I was going to suggest as a backup. But yeah.
Cool. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, guys, Gizzard Gary, guys, get over there and subscribe to Gizzard Gary. Gary, when is your show? What do you got coming up for people to check out? When do you host it?
My show is Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central every week. I've got some I've got some videos out from TriggerCon this past week, some booth interviews and stuff like that, and a couple shorts of me shooting at the range. So, and I've got some reviews coming out here in the next week or two. So check it out. And yeah, thanks to everybody for watching my stuff, and thanks for having me on here.
So everybody needs to go to Gizzard Gary's channel, like and subscribe, and go watch last night's podcast in case you missed it. He'll give you some good entertainment for the afternoon if you didn't get a chance to watch it last night.
Yes, that's correct. Or if you're in your car, don't forget, you can listen to the podcast on your favorite podcast platforms. Apple Podcast, Google, whatever you like. I'm on there. So
nice. All right, man. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Care, man. All right, have a good one.
Yeah, but here's the rest of the tools if you're interested. Here's your serrated knife blade.
Okay.
The pry bar, like as I was showing, your little and a file, which is metal on one side and nail file on the other side.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, that thing is sweet.
Yeah. And it comes with a quick access screwdriver bit if you don't want to have for a flathead. So you can have a flathead here that you can take out and switch it with the Phillips that comes in it already. If you don't want to have to pull out your little bit kit, it also holds one right there in the handle.
Okay. I'm looking it up on Amazon real quick. I'm gonna add that to my wish list here. So
I looked on the Leatherman site. I found the front sight tool. Yeah, it's $30. I mean, well, it's Leatherman, but it looks like it just slides in where the screwdriver bit fits. So might be getting one of these.
You know, we've all been there that one time and end up having to use like a toothpick and like a pair of pliers, like a little
You can actually use the round. You can use a 5.56 cartridge to do it, but just having a tool is faster and easier.
Now, I just want to say this real quick here, Rich. Thanks to the wonderful world of inflation, that Gerber's pushing 134, but you know, how long have you had that? Well, that's that's normal. I mean, these things have gone up.
Yeah. I got this right before COVID. I think
there you go.
2019.
Right there. Yeah. 2019. Yeah, 4 years. She's gone up $30-$40, and the price has been flatlined since last July on Amazon, so it has not fluctuated. So it's not going down. So if you want one, I would say get one. They've got it. I mean, or you can buy it locally. You might find it cheaper locally. Honestly, do a Google search, and there's a good.
I got mine at Walmart. So.
Oh, okay, and that'd be another thing too. Is you might find it locally cheaper. So that's something to think about. Here's the cool thing. I'm looking it up, Rich. They do sell a Kydex sheath for it that you can get to just push it into, and it locks into place like a belt clip on it. Did it? And it came with a sheath. It did. Yeah, you were showing it off earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a dual pocket sheath on it. One pocket for the tool itself, and the other for the bit set.
Sweet.
Now you can get it with the bit set or without the bit set. So without the bit set might be a little cheaper.
I would just, if it's $10, who cares? Just get it with the bit set, because then you've got.
No, it was like another $30 for the bit set.
Oh God! Time. If you can just go buy a $5 bit set at Harbor Freight, you can just go into your toolbox. You probably have multiple sets of the same ones, and you can customize it for what you want, like hex or Allen keys. You know, if you want it for like as a gun tool. Yeah.
This is not the bit set that came with it. I didn't get it with the bit set. I got it without the bit set.
Yeah, let's
just added my own.
Go pull it from a multi-tool set. Yeah.
Yeah, even if you don't get the one without the bit set, it still comes with the sheath that has a separate pocket for the bit set.
Okay. Cool. All right. Squibby, do you want to go ahead and add? You were mentioning him before. Yeah, you were talking. Were you showing off? You were showing one off or showing off a sheath or something earlier, or I can't remember what it was. Yeah, like a green sheath or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
what do you got?
Coyote. This is made by a company called Atlas 46. It's American made. It's designed for multi-tool. I've been using it for years. It gets filthy, but it scrubs right out with a nylon brush and Dawn dish soap, and it's good as new. But
let it air dry. Yeah.
I've had the leather pouches, and those tend to wear out. But no, I was we were all just showing our multi-tools. That's all I was doing. I was going to go in the other room and grab the bit set I have for it, because I keep that in the other Atlas 46 pouch, the one I've got that fits two smartphones. And there's a little pocket in the front of it, and I just slide that down in there. I've only used a couple things off of it, like a Torx bit or something like that, but it's nice to be able to just change out the screwdriver. I don't know how many times I've been somewhere and we've needed a screwdriver, and just having this right here. So, if you've got something that's a little bit more oddball, a hex or something, just this small plastic sleeve with double-sided bits on it, it covers a lot of applications. So, but I do kind of want that sight tool, and maybe I'll just slide that in the pouch and keep that handy too.
Well, I'll tell you what, my Midwest Industries front sight tool that I bought was like $17 or $18, just to let you know, because I bought a good one, because I got tired of the NC Star ones bending when I tried to use them at the range. Like, crappy ones don't hold up, or like a UTG. So I went ahead and just got a Midwest Industries front side tool, which is total overkill, but it's so robust that the teeth don't bend when I turn. Because sometimes I'll have finicky, and I'll put a drop of oil on them, but sometimes I'll have finicky front sights that just don't want to move. Like the first time you crack them and move them, they just don't go, So, or they're torqued all the way down or something. And so it's, you want to have a good side tool, but to have one on a pocket tool would have been so handy so many times, This is that AR-15 compatible pocket tool that I was talking about, the Mutt. It's been out for a couple of years. It's a jack of all trades, master of none, according to a lot of people that own one. They're 160. Yeah. Your box probably has all this stuff in it already. Have you ever used this one, Rich? Do you have any experience with it at all, or not?
I saw somebody with one of those at the range one time, and they were having all kinds of trouble with it. So
it's got tools that are supposed to be specifically made for the AR-15, like a carbon scraper and like a pin push that you can use to push out your pins for your trigger pack and stuff like that. And it's for $160. I mean, I guess it is what it is. I mean, maybe honestly, if you're maybe deployed in the field, or if you're a soldier, this might come in handy. You might be able to find some use for it.
Now, you just showed in that picture the nylon sheath that comes with it. Yeah, I've used those too, the Leatherman nylon sheath. No, it was the other one with the logo on it. That one, that one wears out.
Stuff's rubbing against it, or stuff's hanging over it.
Well, you can spend a lot of money and you get one with a lifetime warranty, or you can spend a little bit and just every time they wear out. I did that before I got this. I would just buy them on Amazon and just toss them. And but the sheet that comes with it, I really wouldn't say it's that durable. It's just something to keep in mind. But for the price, though, look at all these tools you get.
A lot of it's already just a basic. I mean, there isn't a whole lot here. I think that's AR-15 specific. It says it does have a bolt override tool. I don't know if that's so. Maybe you can pull your bolt back or something. Or if your bolt gets stuck, you can use it to pull your bolt back or push it forward or something. I mean, some of these cleaning rod brush adapters, part number 13 on the right side. Firearm disassembly punch, that would be handy. Number 14 for pushing out pins,
or
trigger pack pins.
Mags.
Yeah, taking apart your Glock mags. Yeah, but I mean, I always have a punch set in my range box, but it'd be nice to have it in my pocket instead of having to go back to my car, dig it out. A carabiner bottle opener and large bit driver. I suppose you could find, and there's like a carbon scraper. I think that's replaceable bronze carbon scraper. That's number 12. So if you want to clean off your bolt carrier group, or
the bottle opener is for after the range.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. We always say that for afterwards. Yeah, the carabiner bottle opener. I mean, yeah, it's cool. I mean, 160. I mean, it seems like a little expensive, but then you look at the other, pocket tools that Leatherman sells. Like a Charge is $189, a Surge is $149. You can get a mutt bit kit for $11, a mutt accessory kit for 25, which might be kind of nice, replacement parts. But if you break any of those, if they do honor the warranty, which they should, you can get a part replaced if something wears out. They might say, no, the carbon is a wearable item. You're going to have to, the carbon scraper is not something we're going to replace. You'd have to, get that. You'd have to take care of that on your own. But
I think they'd replace it.
You think so? If somebody wore it out? Well, they probably want the part because they want to see, how it's wearing, because that's actual in the field use, because Leatherman does care legitimately about, their customers and stuff. But
I'm not in the pocket of big Leatherman. I mean, they don't endorse my channel, but I do endorse their product.
Yeah, I mean, the fact they took care of me when I broke the plastic cutting tool on mine, and they said, yeah, we'll send you a new one right now. We'll send you a padded envelope, prepaid, drop it in there. Please send it back. I'm like, I will. I have no use for the broken one. And they took care of me. So
now I'm going to get a cease and desist email. It's going to say, Squib, we've seen your videos. Please quit endorsing our product. We do not want to be associated with you.
Yeah.
In my case, it would probably be Kershaw, because when I had the original one of these I had, it broke. And the day I sent this, the replacement came in the mail as well. They sent the replacement knife out before they even had the broken one in hand.
And does Kershaw, do they make some American-made knives? Like my Kershaw,
this one's made in the U.S.
Okay, so you're going to pay more of a premium, but still, that's their big company. They'll stand behind their products because they can afford to, Yeah. And I mean, how often do they really have people send in knives that have failed? Probably 1%. I would guarantee they don't have a high failure rate, so that's why they take care of the customer service when they need to. Here's a little blast from the past. I got an old Winchester Chinese made, just honking mother. This thing weighs like, I'm not kidding, this thing weighs like a pound. It is so. I actually used it when I first moved into my house. This was my little pocket tool that it had. It's got the nice fake wood handles going on. Heck, those might even be real wood. I don't know. And it's got the thick pliers on there. I mean, this is the man hands fit around that thing. Look at that. And then it's got the big, I mean, yeah, this thing is just kind of I think Stanley probably made a version of it also that you could buy at Walmart. Let's get the blade out on this thing. Oh my God, I can't even get it out. Let's see here.
And Travis just cuts his hand open live on it.
I got to go get the clock kit. No, this thing's been fun. I mainly used it to pry open paint cans when I was painting my house, when I had my house back in the day. And it's going to say it's trash. I mean, it does the job, but I would not trust my life to. I don't want you. This thing is so heavy. It probably weighs as much as my cable. I really should put this on the scale. But I've even got paint on the pouch from when I was painting the house. So yeah.
Have any of you guys ever used the saw on your multi-tool?
When I was a kid, I had a US. I had a US Camper multi-tool when I was a kid, and I tried cutting logs with it, and I'm like, yeah, it is like green wood was just chewing up the blade. No, it sucks. Have you?
I think that's one of those things that anybody uses once and then realizes
this is good for tinder wood or whatever, kindling or whatever, tinder wood.
So my boss wanted me to cut down this small tree. It's 2 inches in diameter that was growing through. It's kind of hard to explain, but it was in the foundation of the building. And more or less, this is just going to be a bigger problem. This should have been taken care of a long time ago. So I walk all the way over there. It's in the other building. I walk all the way over there. I realize, oh, yeah, I'm probably going to need a Sawzall or something. It's like, what do we have? It's not like we keep a bow saw or, even just a regular hand saw. And I'm like, well, we've got a reciprocating saw, And I'm like, wait a minute. I got my Leatherman.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm a YouTuber. This will make a good video.
Oh, heck yeah.
I'm like, will a Leatherman cut through it? Yeah, it did. But when it was growing up through a grate, so I had to get a ladder. I had to go back for a ladder anyhow.
Oh my God!
So I ended up using a Sawzall to cut like the 15 branches, because if I had to do that, 15 more times, no. So like what Black Hat said, yeah, we've all done it once, but they're like, yeah. But in a pinch, could you cut a 2-inch branch with? Yes.
Yeah, you could also probably just manhandle it and break it if you've got any kind of upper body strength. But still, if you want to have a more precise, not a 2-inch. If you can yank it, it depends on how dead the tree is or how dry the tree is.
No, this was live. It was live, but it was growing into the. I even got some flack from a comment. How dare you? It's like, dude, it's not supposed to be here. Yeah.
Yeah. This is.
Yeah, we had some branches bend down on the evergreen that was out in front of our house when we lived my wife's grandmother's old house in the snowstorm, and they were bent down blocking the walkway. Yeah, I just grabbed my multi-tool saw and just cut them off with the multi-tool.
And I'm going to quickly delete. I can't ban the user. I'm going to delete my own comment there so my email address disappears. But Yeah, if you guys ever want to say, if you ever send stuff to Caliber Corner, thecalibercorner@gmail.com, which is my main email address, that's not my StreamYard email address. So just so you know, if I happen to if I log into my other email account, unfortunately, sometimes it has the it'll log you out, which is what I don't want to have happen in StreamYard, because StreamYard will log me out because all this stuff is integrated through YouTube. So no, yeah, I just want to go ahead and delete a quick comment here. Not that I care. You guys are welcome to email me anytime you want to, but hang on one second here.
Black Cat brought up a good point earlier about the cost of some of the knives, like when you guys are talking about the Mora knives, which I've got a couple knockoff Moras, and I'm sure they're just as good as, or the Moras just as good, if not better. I've heard good things about them. I've wanted to get one and never did, but I got a couple knockoffs that somebody gave me, and I've used them to skin deer. They work just fine. But yeah, when you've got a $20 knife, or with today's prices, even a $40 knife, if you end up losing it, it's not going to break the bank. If you've got a $160 knife, you're going to be like, ouch, you know. So that is another thing to consider when you're looking for what kind of gear, what is something small that you might want to lose. Part of the reason I got the buck knives in blaze orange wasn't,
you can see them.
Cool as a hunter. It's, I've literally sat this thing down on a shelf. I put it somewhere, you know, I'm working on something, and I just go set it down, and I get to work, and I'm looking all over, and it's like, oh, orange, there we go, I can see it. So it's just that might be something. If visibility is a thing, I think one of the more knockoffs I have is, it's black, but it's got a yellow stripe on it, and that helps with visibility.
Yeah, that's a good. That's not a bad idea.
I have a little camp saw that I used. It's sold out now, but yeah, it was in bright neon green for that reason, because I get done using the Gerber one I have that's black and set it down, and then you couldn't find the damn thing for 20 minutes.
Yeah, the Moras come in blaze orange also. Like, yeah, you might want to just consider. A lot of them do. A lot of knives do. Just as for visibility, if you're going to be out in the camp woods, you drop it down in some brush. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to gut the deer. You know, you manage to bag it 60 seconds before legal light is over. That's usually when I bag. You can't
see the knife anyway if it's blaze orange. So
and it's dark out, and maybe you've got an O-light that your friend gave you. Or you're wearing a headlamp that's, you know, endorsed by one of your other friends or something like that. But still, having higher visibility stuff will help you if you're trying to take care of that deer in the dark.
This is from X Adam 1 over there, the Leatherman Skeletool CX. This is what we're taking a look at. It's got all those little bits that come along with it.
Yeah, you see those? That's what I've got. That strip, that plastic strip there with all the bits. I carry that in my cell phone pouch. That comes in handy.
Okay. Rich, what do you got there, man? Let me go ahead and exit out of this.
My little O-light.
Yeah, we all got the O-light.
AAA O-light. Yeah.
Dude, those are nice, man.
My favorite flashlight. I use this for everything.
Yeah. It's very cool, man. Very cool. What Defense Dad says, who the heck would knock off a Mora? They're like $15. Oh, Wish.com makes all your dreams come true. You can get a Mora for $1. Actually, you just pay shipping and it's free on Wish.com. So, yep.
So I've known about the Mora knives for years, and I just never bought one, right? You just order off Amazon. Yeah. And somebody sent me one, and I used it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. He sent me one also.
Somebody sent me another one.
Yep.
And I think I lost one of them deer hunting. So it's just come in handy. I mean, I don't consider it, the primary thing isn't really that it's disposable, but once again, some things it's just, if you're going to be in the dark, if it's going to be at night, you know, if you're going to be in some sort of terrain where you're climbing, or just, you might set something down, or you realize when you get all the way back, you've driven 600 miles home and you realize, oh crap, I left it at the campsite. Are you really out a lot? But yeah, Defense Dad, you can actually knock off a $20 knife.
Oh yeah, which is, I mean, it's sad but true.
I was gonna say it's not that they're disposable as much as they're cheap enough that you can buy like 3 of them and put them in, one in your car, one in your tackle box, one in your backpack. You don't ever have to worry about not having it. I mean, you don't have to worry about taking it out of your car and throwing it in your backpack. Cheap enough, you just leave one in there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
Forget that it's in there, and then when you go to grab something, oh yeah, I got my knife in there.
just as a quick heads up, if you go to the Mora Knife website, go to like Amazon and get your Moras, because if you go to the Mora Knife website, the prices are in euros, and not that it matters, but you wouldn't want to order it from there unless they have a USA site. So I would just say go to Amazon and get one. make sure you order it from Amazon. It's going to be legit. It'll come in the Mora packaging. It'll say made in Sweden. It's very, very distinct. I've never gotten a knockoff Mora from Amazon before that I bought directly from Amazon. You're going to get real ones. Just in case they would happen to not carry them, because I don't even know if Shields carries Moras, or if they do, they have a very limited selection. Because Mora's got 100 different knives you can choose from. They've got a whole wood carving section of knives just for hobbyists in Sweden, because that might be even how they got their start, or maybe like a fishing knife. But yeah, like they do make like the full size handle with the short blades for whittling and stuff like that, which it looks crazy, but it's comfortable in your hands because you get full hand support while you're using it. You don't have any fingers dangling off of it while you're trying to use it. So I mean, they've got some little stubby little blades with a full size handle on, which is not a bad idea. So yeah, Moras are they're cool. They're well made. They're cheap. I mean, it's just nice to show you, well, I mean, like I said, when I was showing off the bushcraft, these start at 80, and then you can get them with the survival kit built on the sheath, and those are like 150. They've got a fire starter on them, or they have a fire starter edge on the top of the blade, so you can whiz it across the top and it'll spark off the top of your blade if you want to get your kindling going. But this would be a good one to consider. You want a good all-around durable knife, but then again, okay, so for $10 more than the Mora, you can get yourself an American-made K-bar for like $99 with a sheath and just be done with it. So, or you can just be like me and buy them all. It doesn't matter. Just put them on the credit card. Now, the last one I want to share with you, you should have a backup pocket knife. And this is my baby. I've had this one for probably close to 15 years now. I've got a Victorinox Cadet. I love this little guy. This thing, man, I could do open heart surgery with this blade. It is so freaking sharp. Victorinox, Swiss made. Just this little guy right here. This is my little, and don't call it a hipster knife, because I was using this before hipsters were even born. You've just got a really sharp edge. And like the blade is just awesome. You've got a little screwdriver bottle opener, right? And these come in different colors, and actually they become collector's items. Like some of the colors are collectible, like the black ones.
Like limited edition, or
yeah, they'll release a color for a while. Then you go look it up on eBay, and somebody wants like $100 for it, whereas they're $25. They were $25 knives. I actually bought this at Target, I think in 2005, because Target used to have a decent selection of knives.
Isn't that where the hipsters shop?
I was shopping in Target before the hipsters were born. So, well, here's the thing though, Squib. When I lived in central Nebraska, I couldn't buy these anywhere. Walmart didn't carry them. They didn't have this model, but Target did. So, you know what? Don't blame me. Blame the ex-wife. I just went along with it. I was just, it was one of those shut up dear, we're going west. And I'm like, sure, honey, we're going east. You know what it's like. It's like shoe shopping, Squib.
Yeah, sometimes we were talking about that. Yeah,
we were talking about shoe shopping and how enjoyable that is for your average husband. So, but anyway, just Victorinox Cadet, awesome, love it. Little great lightweight knife, excellent blade. This is kind of my discreet carry if I don't want to have a big blade sticking in my pocket if I'm going somewhere where whatever. If I want to dress it up, this is my gentleman's pocket knife. So this is what I like to use. So, all right, guys, we're going to call it. It's been almost 2 hours. We've gone down the camping, hiking knife rabbit hole, and we've barely even grazed the surface of it. So next week, we might just talk optics, because single shot, we were kind of joking about how we sometimes overcompensate by putting massively magnified optics on top of a gun. It might be overkill for the application. So we might just have a little optics chat next week. I have no idea how long it's been since we've just talked optics, like favorite scopes. Because I've finally had a chance now to get a couple years of experience under my belt. Whereas for years on my channel, I had one center point, a 4-20 or whatever it was that I've just now sent to single shot. And I put that on every gun that I had in my earlier videos because it's all I had. And then, eventually I had, X-Ages send me some scopes. And then I finally, ponied up and bought a couple Vortexes and discovered how awesome the low-end primary arm scopes can be too. Those are really nice. I got a Primary Arms Classic that's been on my Ruger Ranch for years now, and that little sucker holds zero. $130 scope, just amazing. Chinese made, but Primary Arms has a lifetime guarantee on it. So yeah, well, I think maybe we'll do an optics chat next week, especially as we get ready to go into like the fall deer season. That might be something that we want to discuss too. And it's been a long time since we talked optics. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. So let's go ahead and get things going here. I've got a lot of stuff going on today. So Squiblo, you go ahead and close us out with any final words of wisdom. What do you want to say about anything, man? Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. I just used to carry a multi-tool on me. Excuse me. Used to just carry a multi-tool on me and hanging out with you guys, and a few others, like David Bowling, the Kingpin himself, kind of got me into carrying multiple knives. You've got a knife for this and a knife for, it's kind of like, the people who you only need one gun. I've got a gun that does this, a gun that does that. I've got a backup when this one breaks and it's deer season or whatever, So with knives, I've discovered that there are different purposes, different blades, the length, and then when you're traveling, different laws, things like that. So If you find yourself just carrying one knife and other people are carrying multiple, and you start talking to them about it, you might end up with a second or a third or even 5 Kingpin. And that's but and 2, another thing is we're talking about for hiking, and that's all good and fine, but we also kind of covered stuff that is EDC type stuff. And it's kind of interesting how many EDC things could go in with your hiking gear. You've already got it on you. It's already in your pockets. You're used to having it. So I think that, if somebody's going knives, who cares? Just guns. A pocket knife is a tool. Some of these knives are good for, other things. And in certain situations, you'd be going, oh man, if I just had a knife. Well, carry one, Rule number 9, always carry a knife.
And again, I don't at my job because it would get me in trouble, unfortunately. But I mean, as soon as I go home, as soon as I'm out of town, anywhere I go, and if I don't want something large and visible, I'll throw the little Victorinox in there just to have something, right? But otherwise, my normal go-to in every situation is this honker, the Kershaw, because it's just like I said, you pull it out, it's overkill for a lot of its applications. But I also I hate to say it, but I do also use this as a defensive knife because it would function with this blade. I mean, it's very stout. I can get a full grip on it. So if I had to whip it out and use it while I'm, handling the dog for whatever reason, I can pull it out. That's why I like the wave deployment system on it. Yeah, I would go fixed blade if I'm going to be going into some kind of combat situation. But this is just I feel secure with this because it would work in a pinch if it needed to. And I had a buddy, I have a friend of mine who's a deputy sheriff, and he's told me that, a good knife, it will save you in situations when you least expect it, because he's dealt with some pretty unruly situations before. And I was talking about out the front knives and stuff, and he's like, you got to have a good blade on you at all times, man. So just think about that. It's something you should have when you can, where you can, wherever possible. And hopefully we've given you guys some good options, from the $15 Mora up to the $160 Leatherman Mutt to the $100 K-Bar. So yeah, I think we've put a lot of good information out there. Cool, man. Squib, anything else you want to add since I kind of hijacked your final comments?
No, I got stuff to do today too.
Caffeine's kicking in. I'm a little shaky right now. So let's
get through and move on. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Don't forget, guys, next week we're taking a week off. I've got a hike coming up that I'm going to do, and I've got stuff going on with family. So I'm going to get in the outdoors, and it's ridiculously hot here in Nebraska. It's supposed to be 92 or 93 today. It's already 80 and we're in October. So I'm just taking advantage of this outdoorsy stuff. I do love hiking out in crappy, cruddy weather. I'm looking forward to going out and some just awful stuff and just enjoying it, making a video on it. Because I got some waterproof cameras we can use, and give you guys an update on my hiking shoes. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming our way. And then Squib, it is the proverbial Russell Stover's Box of Chocolates channel over on the Squib Load channel, because you never know what you're going to get. So, but it's probably all going to be coffee flavored. I can guarantee that. So,
for a gun channel, I don't do a lot of gun videos.
No, I know, me neither. It's like I'm kind of expanding out. I did a Wendy's chili video the other day. I did my EDC. What do I take to work bag video? I mean, it's ridiculous.
I need to do a new channel mission statement video. Mine's 3 years old, and I still talk about was it GunTube and Gunstreamer
Gunstreamers.com or whatever.
Yeah, maybe I just chop that part off and redo it. But the premise is that gun people are regular people like everybody else. It's not just all 2A and guns.
What was the one that I broke down? What was the platform that I destroyed when I uploaded my collection?
VidMe.
VidMe. Yeah, VidMe. You can follow me on VidMe.
Yeah, you crashed their server, dude.
I feel so sorry. You know what sucked about VidMe is they had a wonderful community over there anyway. That was their weight that most of us didn't even know about. And
until you got in there.
But Odyssey is out there.
Value of the neighborhood down.
Yep, I did.
Single-handedly destroyed a website.
I did. I somehow just single-handedly ate up the property. I bought it, turned it into a mall, and shut everything down. That's exactly what I did with my channel. Yeah. Anyway, so Rich, we're gonna go on to you. Go and give us your final thoughts, your final comments, whatever you want to say.
All right. No, you were showing your little discreet knife. This is my little discreet knife that I like to call my 50 state legal knife. It's a little Kershaw flipper.
You have Bill clip on it?
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't okay, cool. And like I said, in some places it's got to be unconcealed regardless of the blade length. Nebraska, it's different now, but cool. What model is that? Do you know what it was called?
I don't know.
The Kershaw Mini.
This was actually one of those, those $20, $25 gift packs where you get 3 knives in the pack.
Oh,
at Walmart. This is one of those. And this thing is razor sharp.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, don't, yeah. Kershaw blades are really nice. Yeah.
Here's the other 2 knives that came in that pack.
Oh wow, okay. And I've got that one with like the Tonto style blade on it. Your other one, mine's
Well,
almost like
none of these are Tanto. You have the
no, mine is. I have the Tonto version of that one that's in your left hand. Yeah,
they're all flippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's assisted open.
Yep. Yep. And I've got one just like it, but it has a different blade on it. It's the exact same knife. Or maybe not. No, it's not. No, mine has a different texture on it. But it's the same, similar style Kershaw.
I think this was the centerpiece knife of the set. This one feels really comfortable in the hand and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, this one's assisted.
Oh, yeah. The little nub on the back to open it up. That's nice to have.
Yep. And it's got the thumb studs, too. So you can do
just
it that way.
Real quick, you keep talking. I want to grab mine real quick just to show it to you because you might recognize the model. So anything else you want to say, go ahead and do so. Be right back.
Yeah. I mean, don't sleep on these little Christmas gift packs, folks. my wife got me this on a whim last year, and I like these knives. Are they the best? Are they the best knives made? No. Do they do the job? Yeah.
I got one a couple of years ago.
I got a couple of those.
Yeah. I got one a couple of years ago. I had the little mini Kershaw, two little mini Kershaw knives, and then their screwdriver tool. You ever saw that? It looks like a pen, but it's got like little kind of precision hex bits and screwdriver bits in it. That thing comes in handy as hell.
Oh, I imagine.
That was like one of those Walmart Christmas deals. I keep that in my backpack.
Yeah, I got two iFixit kits, which have all the little screwdriver bits and all the little weird ones that if you're trying to take some of them apart and you don't know what the hell the bit is.
Yeah.
That one came with like 6 or 8 of those weird, little weird bits. That thing's great.
So real quick, Rich, the one that I had that I'd mentioned, I actually gave that to a buddy. This one was sent to me by another person. I can't remember who it was. This might have been Mel the Nut that sent me this one. This is another Kershaw little. I love the blade on this one. It is serrated, and this one I love this one. It is Kai Ken Onion. It's a Ken Onion design. That's that.
Yeah.
Ken Onion also does chef's knives too, right? Or
that looks like the Blur I have. Only with the
I think you and I
blade.
had the exact same one, didn't we? I thought we had a
no. Mine has the recurve. You got the Tanto.
Okay, and this you can still get these. Like Kershaw doesn't. Yeah. They'll make a model of knife that'll last a very long time before they move it out. Oh wow. Yeah, you got every bit you need. That's the Leatherman Bit Extreme. It has like its own fanny pack it goes into, and you can plug any end into your Leatherman. For the man that has every Leatherman, here's the accessories for every Leatherman. So that I've got like 4 or 5 of those sets where I've got one that has nothing but hex bits and one that has Allen keys, and I've got like 5 or 6 of those just sitting around. Yeah,
those come in really handy.
Yeah,
and I fix it. If you need the little screwdrivers, if you're working on anything electric around your house, like on your coffee maker, something goes wrong with your coffee maker or whatnot, those little weird screws that you can't figure out what bit. This set probably has it.
Because when I changed the battery pack on my old 2010 MacBook, I bought a new battery pack for it. It had like a weird lobe, like a moon, like crescent screw head. I had never seen it before. I ended up having it. Luckily, the battery pack came with the screwdrivers that you needed to change it because it was some weird thing that Apple used because they didn't want you touching it because they wanted you to send the computer in to change the battery pack. It was totally user serviceable. So.
Here's my smaller sets.
From iFixit.com. Yeah, iFixit was one of the best websites. They did some of the earliest iPhone Fix-It videos. There was like Cracked or something.
Oh, yeah.
They
got videos for how to fix almost anything electronic on there.
Step-by-step instructions, because I used to do a lot of iPhone repairs just for fun for friends and family that would break them. They even have screens and stuff.
Yeah, and they have specialty tools for fixing stuff too. And they'll sell like batteries and stuff. Like if you need a battery for an old laptop that you can't find anywhere else, they may have it.
Yep. And they sell the replacement parts.
A great company. Yeah. They're a great company.
And versus
the prices aren't bad either.
Yeah, versus buying like some crappy replacement screen for a phone off eBay, iFixit's going to stand behind their product because the crappy ones, the return policies are garbage. But iFixit, they actually have quality parts.
Warranty. All those tools I was just showing from them are lifetime warranty.
Yeah, you'll pay a premium, but it's worth it, especially if you just want to buy once, cry once. That's kind of our philosophy on this channel. So yeah, cool, man. All right, anything else, Rich?
I don't think so. I mean, said a lot while you were gone. So I mean,
good. Yeah, that's fine, man. Yeah, all right, no problem. Hopefully, it was all good about me. That's all.
No, we kept the show going where you had to
Appreciate
go
it, man.
use
Appreciate
the
it. I had to
bathroom
dig
or
around for
whatever.
that knife. All right. Okay, Black Cat. Anything you want to say before we go? Any final words of wisdom? Yeah. Might be it. There you go.
I can find the mute button. Damn it.
We need like a senior citizen feature on these phones where the mute button is like this giant red button right in the middle of the screen that you just hit, you know, when you put your phone on standby. They need to have like a little out
in broadcast. Be careful.
What's that?
But see, that's the thing. I have to open up I can't use the mobile website. It gives me problems on my phone. So I got to put it on the regular website in my Chrome browser on my phone. And then the mute button's this little tiny freaking thing in the corner that I can't even hardly see. I just got to kind of reach up on the dash and hit it.
Yeah, I love StreamYard. They won't put the money into a good, usable live streaming app, but they'll advertise on YouTube, 24/7 with Dana, who has yet to call me from StreamYard. Hi, I'm Dana from StreamYard. Dana. And anytime we get done with the broadcast, this is something stupid for you guys. Anytime we get done, they have a "How do we do?" Comment box that pops up, and I go, "Hey, tell Dana to call me," and I put my phone number on there. They hit submit. Watch me get a phone call. No, I'm like, this broadcast would be so much better if Dana was here. And then so I put my phone number on there just as a jerk, and it's like, send.
You realize they're a Canadian company, so you're going to be that guy who's like, "Oh, I thought you had a girlfriend. Oh, she lives in Canada."
Oh yeah,
that was the thing.
She lives in Canada.
I saw that movie Green Card, Gerard Depardieu. I know how this stuff works, you know. Yeah. that 80s gem that came out back in the day. Yeah, go ahead, Black Cat.
I don't know. My final thoughts are going to be worth it. I don't have a whole lot going on until I get done with this trip next weekend. So
okay.
And until I get sponsored by Big Yingling Beer or something like that, since that's the only people I seem to show.
You know,
I thought I'd show for on my channel or beer company. So we'll see.
I get so disappointed, you know, because like Shields sponsors like Honest Outlaw Reviews and sponsors, you know, Fat Electrician. I'm like, why did Shields call me? I've driven more business their way and given them more interest on credit card payments than any of these other guys have. I want Shields to sponsor me. I'm local, man. Whatever. I'm not trying hard enough. Yep.
I've drank more beer on the air over the years than I don't know who else.
Do you realize how many retirement plans you've paid for from Yingling there, Black Cat? And you know what's funny?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but if I lived in PA or if I had constant access to Yingling, I would be sitting right next to you literally every day. We would just be like the two guys from, you know, the Canadian guys, the brothers, you know, that did the videos, the Strange Brew Brothers or whatever.
Oh, the McKenzie brothers.
We'd be the American version of the McKenzie brothers.
Yeah.
We'd be the Yingling brothers as well. The Yingling brothers and Barlow and Bailey Circus is what we turn into. So
my local beer distributor, his son sent me a thank you letter for paying for his college tuition.
Yingling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey's Irish Cream Circus is what we call it. So we got to find something with Barnums in the name. It
could be Yingling Brothers and Black Cat and P11 Circus.
Well, let's wait till after I retire, Black Cat. Then we'll do those podcasts, okay?
There you go.
Brothers and Barnum. Animal cracker cookies.
PT 111, Barnum's and Bailey Irish Cream Circus. Yeah, we got to quit talking about this stuff. All right. So let's keep things rolling. Blackhead, any other final words of wisdom you want to tell us aside from the fact that black and tan was given to us by the gods?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, brother.
I just say my backup to my backup knife. I can't get it right now because my keys are in the truck. But I carry one of the little Victorinox mini.
Got the tweezers on it, the toothpick.
Yeah, just got the tweezers, the toothpick, and the scissors and file.
Yeah.
I carry one of those little mini ones on my keychain. I didn't even think about it.
My dad has always had one on his as long as I can remember. My old man, because when he would go into work, he couldn't take weapons into work, even though he worked in the meat packing plant. You're surrounded by things where you could take over a small town. But anyway, you know, no weapons, but we're gonna give you a machete to cut a cow in half. But anyway, you know, like he would have his little Victorinox knife on there because it never drew any kind of. And he could clean his teeth out with his toothpick and have a sliver. If he had a sliver, nobody ever said anything. So he had a 1-inch blade on it. But yeah.
Yeah,
cool,
the tweezers come in handier than anything else when you get a splinter or something.
And Buck made one. I actually gave them away as groomsmen's gifts at my wedding, and they don't make them anymore, but you can still find them. I can't remember what the names were. Buck made it was a round keychain bottle opener that had a little curved blade that would pop out, and it was like a little 1/2-inch blade or 1-inch blade on. I gave them away at my wedding as groomsmen gifts, and then they quit making them, and I got a buddy that wore his out, so I gave them mine because I never used mine because I bought one for myself. Then that one got worn out. And then I actually bought him. I bought him 2 other ones. This is my best friend. I bought him 2 more off of eBay because you can still find them, but they become collector's items because they're out of production bucks and squib. You know how that goes. The value on them just goes ridiculous. But that was, and he's actually my buddy's actually taken that through TSA before, and it has not gotten confiscated, which blows my mind because it would go through. It looks like a bottle opener on a keychain. You wouldn't know there's a little knife blade in there. I mean, maybe the blade's short enough that it wouldn't matter, but I'm sure some TSA, people would love to have that. So,
every year I go to the Capitol for our rallies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know that Swiss Army knife's gone through security every year. They never say anything about it.
Let me show you guys. Oh yeah, they won't draw an eye on it. It's called the Buck Whitaker. This is what it is, guys. The 759. I gave away black ones for my wedding, and the bottle opener is stout, man. Yeah, and they make them. A lot of times when you find them, they've got company logos on it. But to find a new one, I mean, look, these are all worn. To find a new one in a box is it's like a gem now. So anytime a new one pops up, I buy it. Because what happens is the little latch mechanisms on them wear out, and Buck doesn't service them because they don't make any. In fact, they don't even have any in packages anymore. But I did get him a red one. The black ones are what I gave away, but I gave him a red one that I found in a package, and I got him a green one that actually had a company logo on it. But yeah, the Buck Whitaker was one of the coolest little things that they made. They were kind of heavy because they were solid steel or aluminum, but if you wanted a solid bottle opener and just a little edge, and see, he actually would use that up at his office because he could get it out and open up boxes and packages, and like nobody would freak out about it. Like nobody thought, oh, he's got a knife. It's just a little edge. It's almost like a box cutter, So yeah. Anywho, we got to go ahead and end this one. Single Shot. Any final words of wisdom you want to give us? Anything you want to say before we go?
Yes, sir. CaltonCutlery.com. That's the fellow that I was trying to think of earlier. And mine is my Mercedes, the SOG, and I like to use that as well.
Okay.
But I'm still going to be making videos, folks. Just be patient with me. Daywolf on Rumble, Single Shot on YouTube. It's just a matter of getting everything squared away. The wife and I are going to go down south there for a little bit there around Christmas time. And we'll be throwing some videos. Most of them are going to be on Daywolf on Rumble because of the way that the attitude YouTube has nowadays. We all know about that.
Surprised we're all still here.
So
they just tolerate us. I said I'm surprised we're all still here. They just kind of tolerate us because they can make money off of us.
Yeah.
And kind of keep us as pestilent children in the corner, basically, is what we are. So yep.
Well, I mean, ignorance is a better part of valor. You know what they say.
Oh my God.
They just turn around. They've got to be just that ignorant to discriminate against certain groups of people, which that's what it is. It's discrimination. So
I'm sure 20 years from now there'll be a class action lawsuit. If your videos are ever demonetized by YouTube, you might be eligible for compensation. Blah blah blah. There's going to be a class action lawsuit.
I'm not going to make monetization. That's not why I'm there. I'm there to have fun, put information out that people can use, and stuff like that. And there's just platforms that we can't use anymore, and YouTube happens to be one of them. So
you're not like Black Cat that's in the pocket of the big Yingling out there. So yeah, you too, Single Shot. Hey man, you drive safe, you be good, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Okay.
All righty, take care, everybody. God bless. America moves by truck.
We'll give a little shout out on the YouTube side, and then we're going to end it with a mic drop comment from my mom as I'm wearing a Nebraska hat. Rich White, Kim Williams, I'm out there, MC Hardwoods, X-Adam1, Defense Dad, everybody out there watching today. M. Gabriel's in the house, Ozzy Orsborn, Tony York, Gizzard Gary, Black Hat out there joining in. Abigail's with us today too. John Z's out there. That's John Z, Newark Outcast with disabilities. Not the other John Z, right? New York Outcast. I'm confused. Then we got Scott 79 in the house. Let's see who else is out there. G23 joining us. Gunmetal Guy USA. Sam of Anarchy. Defense Dad. Man, who else is out there? Got a whole crew watching today. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. That bearded guy's watching today too. Tactical Fud in the house. I'm gonna get this posted all over Facebook as soon as we get done before I get my workout on here this morning. And again, apologies, guys. I'm not putting out a lot of content right now because I'm busy 5 days a week at school, getting doing my job. And then on the weekends, I've been busy with family. We have a lot of fall birthdays, and my family still gets together on my mom's side. So I've just had a lot of stuff going on. So I'll get out to the range when I can. I'm going to do a lever gun video where I just shoot the Marlin 336 with iron sights. I'm going to take it and get it zeroed today just to get it where I want it the best I can and just do a little video with it to talk about it. But there won't be really much coming up anytime soon. Maybe get some cleaning videos out there too for you. But again, I got 1,500 videos on the channel. If you type in Travis P11 and anything you want to watch a video on, there's a good chance I probably made a video on it. So just kind of toot my own horn, get out there and watch the channel if you want to. Patriot in the Dark's out there also. 500 mags out there watching today. And that's about it, everybody. I probably missed somebody here and there. So again, mom's mic drop comment of the day. So I'm getting my Kleenex ready so I can be prepared to watch Michigan stomp us out of the stadium. Nebraska plays Michigan today in football. My homemade nachos will ease the pain. Enjoy. Yeah, Mom, we're going to see what happens. I'm not going to make any comment because Nebraska is very unpredictable. Sometimes they pull it together and they make it happen. Other times, we've been saying that for the last 10 years. So 25 years. Sorry, my bad. But we're going to see what we can do. Squib, any comment on today's game? Anything you want to say? Because I know you love the Michigan Wolverines after last night's chat with all of us together.
Being in the auto industry, there's a lot of college-educated people, and they might have attended the school, but they never played 1 second of football, and they're so uncoordinated and out of shape, but they will not hesitate to claim that they're a member of the team because they went to the school.
Just like everybody's a Navy SEAL on YouTube. Everybody's a Navy SEAL.
Everybody's a Navy SEAL.
Oh my God, how many Navy SEAls are there? Millions?
They decorate their office and their company car with U of M swag, and we have a saying around here that says, "How do you know if somebody went to University of Michigan? Just wait 30 seconds.
Just wait,
they'll tell you." And that has literally happened to me. Oh, hi, I'm Bill, and oh, by the way, I went to U of M.
No, that would never come up in a conversation in Nebraska unless you were talking about your college days. Oh, did you go to Lincoln? Oh, I see you have an alumni, license plate cover. Now, Nebraska are rampant about their Husker fan base, but they're not going to sit there and brag about UNL just because. Yeah.
I'm not a U of M fan.
Okay.
My team's the Kettering Captains. Go Captains!
Is that your son's team? Is that what's a Kettering captain? What's Kettering? Kettering Cat. So it's like boat captain stuff, or what, like pirates? or what?
No. So they've got 2 schools in the district: Waterford Mott and Waterford Kettering. They've got a lot around here. They've got things like that. There are other Kettering and Mott, and there's north and south and Tower and west and lake this and lake that, and it's But no, I'm not a U of M fan. So hopefully the Huskers can take care of business today.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be an exciting day. That's all I know. So, all right, man. Sounds good. So go Kettering Captains. All right. Cool. All right. So we're going to see you guys in 2 weeks. We're not going to meet next week. In 2 weeks, we're going to talk optics as we get ready to go into the fall deer season. And Rich White tells everybody to have a good day. Black Cat says later, y'all. Again, ColtonCutlery.com. We're not sponsored by them. I know nothing about them except Single Shot recommends them. The web address is over there. Make sure you guys subscribe to Live Love Nebraska, my C channel that I co-produce with my brother from another mother, Matt. We're going to have new videos coming out on that channel here pretty soon too. We put out the content when we can. But in the meantime, this is Travis P11. This has been Caliber Corner Season 6, episode number 296. The channel is quickly approaching 9 years online on the air. In October 14th, it'll be the official birth date that I launched my first video on the Ruger 9E, which I did because nobody else had videos on the 9E. So make sure you check it out. Squib, you want to promote a little bag there? Oh, I thought you're showing it off. So, okay. All right. Okay, guys, I want you to have fun, be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. So, all right.
Bye, Alicia.
Don't worry, Alicia. Alicia, I'm probably going to call.
Bye-bye.
There we go, gentlemen. Oh, it hasn't ended yet. It hasn't. I think nope, we're still live. Still live.
No.
Watch Dana pop up. Hi, I'm Dana from StreamYard. Did you have a question about customer service today? It's not
is that end button right next to the mute button?
I hit end stream and it's not ending. I think StreamYard's holding me accountable. So let's keep the cursing for the. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Having trouble connecting. Check your connection to the internet.